Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur. The Irish sensation from a secret location, bringing you Answer Me with Jack Kineke. You know, joined by Bob and Danny, our usual panelists on this show. Would have brought it to you last Wednesday, but we got the Fonseca expert, and then, you know, Spurs, it all went downhill Thursday morning. So, you know, as good as the guest was, what a waste of a show it was. So we moved the show here to Sunday. Tomorrow there's a fan show coming for all you lovely members. You know, so make sure you come on and have your say on everything that's going on. Look, make sure you do smash a like on the stream. There's already 75 of you waiting for this stream, so big yourselves up. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Subscribe on the channel if you're new. And, you know, help support the channel by becoming a channel member or sending a super chat. It really does help the channel grow. And the link for the memberships is pinned in the, I was going to say the chat, sorry. But look, first of all, Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Keeping really well, David. You know, I had an excellent day yesterday on Saturday. Practically everything went well for me, you know, from the Germany win to the Hungary draw to some beautiful lunch with the missus. Yeah, it was an absolute grand day. And, you know, today it's, you know, the news have kind of all died down and we're practically at ground zero again. So maybe that's even a bit relieving as well, considering that we were going down a Gattuso route that did not seem bright.
100%. Now, Bob, how are you keeping, my man?
All good, mate. Father's Day, so spent a lot of time with the little twats, children, and had a wicked time. Spoilt rotten. They spoilt me rotten, and they've yeah, absolutely brilliant. You can't spend enough time with your kids. I'd rather spend them with my kids than somebody else's.
No, I appreciate that. Big up, Bob. Big up, Bob. And look, I hope your kids aren't watching. First of all, I hope they're not watching that. But Danny, how are you keeping, my man?
Good, Dave, man. I'm not too bad. Can't complain, really. Yeah, everything's good for a Sunday. Just can't be fucked to go to work tomorrow, mate. But what can you do?
You've been spending time with your kids today, Dan. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
mate. Yeah. But you're not supposed to tell anyone. This is a secret.
No, he got a knock on the door today. You know, he you know, it's the best Father's Day ever. He's long lost kid, you know, from a one night stand or something like that. Big up. Look, to everyone out there watching, first of all, to the father, if he is watching right now, you know, happy Father's Day. I hope you had a good day. You know. And thanks very much for being a great father, a great inspiration, and a great role model. And I hope you enjoy your evening with a few beers. Everyone else out there, you know, whether you have kids or not, happy Father's Day to you guys as well. And to any women out there watching, I hope you treated the husband today. But look, let's get into it. Let's welcome a few people. We'll get some questions. We have Tempest Fugia. It's like playing a game of Guess Who. Yeah, 100%, except for I'm champ at Guess Who. Carl Simpson says, evening, guys. I hope you're doing well. Another day and still no manager. All the joys of being a Spurs fan, 100%. Let's give Killian Kelly a shout out. Big up, Killian Kelly. I hope you're keeping well, my man.
Big up, Killian.
Stefan Blaise, big yourself up. So Endo Mella's Instagram story is him outside a chicken shop. Look, Dtrex Kane. Good afternoon, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Harris Army. I hope this manager hunt ends soon, and I have a bad feeling with Paratici approach with transfers and manager. 100%. Big up, Hans Sport. Sue Smith is in the building. Big yourself up, Sue Smith.
Big up, Sue.
Derek Hutchinson. Levy has to resign because nobody wants to work under his leadership. So he should, a few minutes. And to the Bahamas. And another private jet, Lewis, 100%. Lionel Messi, look, as the usual. Cristiano Ronaldo is the goal, unfortunately. Good evening, lads. A happy Father's Day to all wonderful fathers out there. Big yourself up. We have Tot 943. Yeah, 100%. Need to get out of club. Look, lads, we need to wait for the 10-minute mark before we can start doing reading stuff like that out. Yeah, big yourself up. R. Riches. James Redmond is in the building. Big yourself up. We have Amen 0743. Big yourself up. The disabled team Nuno is favourite now apparently. Sergio, big yourself up. Paul Pierce is in the building. I hope you're keeping well. He says the club is run like a joke and he need to make us a laughing stock to the rest of football. I'd have one of either Gerrard, Ten Hag or Conte, as I think this could be really come in and make a big difference. Yeah, we will be talking a bit about managers, my man. Caleb Newsep says, come on, you Spurs, big yourself up, Caleb. I hope you're doing well. Jason Wales says, started for anyone else. We should be started.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
being a
we'll
bit
just keep.
impatient.
Yeah, we are started. We are started.
Yeah.
The Mookie, I agree totally with you. This club need to be sold Simeone. Need to be sold to Simeone with ambition to winning something. Aaron Hayes is in the building. Big yourself up. Any relation to Matty Hayes, lad? Josh Seven is in the building. Big yourself up. Jamie Kit, how are you keeping, my man? Hope you're keeping well. Shauna Blaney, big up Shauna Blaney. She says people are too sick to want the manager out. Doesn't matter who the manager is when you have deadwood players. Yeah, I agree with that. Dara, what's the story, lads? How are you keeping, my man? Carl Simpson's in the building. Who else have we got here? We have Tino Mookie. The club is a joke, 100%, man. 100%. Keaton Chase, gut feeling it'll be between Scotty Nine, Jackets, Parker, and Nuno. Big up to the lads. Big yourself up, man. Big up, Scott M. Sir Dacier. Let's welcome channel member Joe Grimes to the stream. Just the chat is absolutely hopping, lads. It's getting. This is insane. 1 second, lads. Where are we? Joe Grimes. Let's welcome Joe Grimes. How are you keeping, my man? Big up, Joe Grimes. How are you keeping, my Irish brother?
Joe. Good to see you, Joe.
I hope you're enjoying the Euros. I hope you're enjoying the festivities that England are bringing to us. Aaron Dove says, "So secret, only us fellow paddies know where Kildare is." 100%, Aaron Dove. 100%, man. It just sounds good, though, doesn't it? It sounds the part, lad. Ian Nicholson, Nikola Milinkovic be available for 15 million from Fiorentina. Would be a steal, 100%. Big up, Aaron Dove. If there's a comment, I'll get it below. If not, and it's a donation, thank you so much, my man. I really do appreciate it. Everyone else, get your super chats in with your thoughts, opinions, and it's a great way to show the channel. When the chat is flying like this, super chats do take priority, and we will definitely sit down and discuss your comment or your question. Big up Emily Dunn. We have Eddie Ryan in the building as well. Mr. K, big up Mr. K. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I hope you're keeping well.
Yeah,
Jason Grove, big yourself up. This guy, absolutely love listening to when he's on. He's brilliant. Big up Harry Agenbar, absolute brilliant content creator. Get over, check out our channel. Dermot Miles, evening, lads. You all definitely look like Peaky Blinders. Yeah, it's by order of the Irish Hotspur, lad.
Big up, Dermot. Good to
big
see
yourself
you,
up. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Mr. Daigle's in the building. Big up Brian from Tottenham away. Another great channel. Get over and check that out. He says, good afternoon, amazing panel.
Yes,
Superstars in the chat. John Chafin, he says, happy Father's Day. Wobbles. Trevor Angel.
Wobbles.
Dave Tyson. Jays, we have loads. It's absolutely hopping. I'm just going to go straight to the bottom. I can't keep up with it. But look, Jack, look, take it away. Let's go with the first question, my man.
Absolutely, David. Absolutely. Look, with Fabrizio Romano's latest tweets, Fabrizio Romano, guys, he's indicated that we're pretty much back at ground zero, that we pretty much come, in terms of the managerial hunt, to a complete restart. He even says here that Tottenham are not planning to reconsider Paulo Fonseca or Gennaro Gattuso as candidates in the next hours. Both deals 100% off, he says. Same for Pochettino, who's considered untouchable by Paris Saint-Germain since May. Are you guys in any sense relieved that maybe we did not go ahead with Gattuso? Obviously, it's been an absolute merry-go-round recently. Don't even know where I left my head. I can't even find it. But guys, I mean, are you maybe after all of this fiasco, are you maybe in a sense maybe a bit relieved that it's not Gattuso?
We'll go with Danny first. Let Danny take this one away.
Yeah, I mean, for goddamn sure, I'm relieved. I mean, it would have been an absolute. I mean, I'm not gonna swear now, but it would have been an absolute nightmare if Gattuso had come in as manager. I mean, just by his record of the not even just forgetting about all the other baggage that he's got with him. If you're looking at his managerial point of view and his managerial record, I mean, he's only stayed at a club. Was it 3 clubs in the last 10 for over a year, and each one of them, he's left the job, gone back and left it again. I mean, this is a guy who just cannot agree with anyone, and I mean, you want a recipe for disaster, then you bring in Gattuso for sure, because him and Levy would have an absolute field day. I mean, it'd be like bashing their heads together and no one's budging. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. I mean, maybe it's an odd question to ask, but maybe after everything that's happened in the last couple of days, maybe a sense of relief, maybe after all of it, that at least maybe it's not Gattuso and you're back at a restart. I think you're on mute, Bobby.
Sort your mic out, Bob.
I Sounded better, didn't I?
Come on, Bob. This is amateur stuff, lad. We're in the big leagues now.
So the Gattuso story broke while we were doing a stream,
Right.
and I think the backlash came about while we were doing the stream as well. Now,
Right.
I'm only going to speak. This is purely personal opinion. I bring my kids up with a few morals, and what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Now, I understand what Gattuso said with regards to some of the racist abuse that some of the players were getting. He didn't really condone being a racist, but he was very flippant about, what racist abuse certain individuals were getting, and basically saying this is the way we are. That's it. I don't care which country you're from, which probably contradicting myself anyway. But if it's their culture, if it's a culture in a certain part of the world, then fantastic. He was potentially going to come to my football club and be the manager of a club that I love, who I tell my kids to support. I could not have supported a football club who had them views, and there was no way I was going to let my kids follow a club with a manager who had those views as well.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely over the moon. He's not coming. No to Gattuso was trending. I was over the moon with that as well. I'm not going to lie. I never wanted him. As soon as when his name was announced, I said no, but I didn't want to go into the whole reasons why. But people were coming through within the comments, making it quite evident, and then I could basically tell my opinion and say my opinion and give my point of view. If he came, I would have stopped supporting Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Fact, and I would have told my kids to stop supporting him as well. Fact. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad he didn't come.
Absolutely, I think that's a beautiful answer, Bob. Coming to you now, David. I mean, maybe after all of this, it seems a little ridiculous to maybe take a positive from it, but maybe you might. Is it maybe a positive? Are you maybe a little relieved after all of this has fallen through that maybe we weren't at least left with Gattuso, or maybe just left at ground zero? Is ground zero maybe a bit more relieving?
Yeah, look, the guy's a lunatic, I'll be honest with you. He's an absolute lunatic. He's a raging lunatic. Look, we've seen it as a player. We've seen what he done to Joe Jordan. That alone, before I even done any research into the type of person he is, that alone, I was just like, I don't want him. He shat on the badge. He shat on Tottenham. Why would we bring him in? It just makes no sense. It's like bringing in Solus Campbell or Arsene Wenger. You just don't do something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, look, I'm relieved it fell through. I kind of thought it would, to be honest with you. I thought it would, but then again, I had that little feeling in my head, because Spurs fans don't want it, it's probably something Daniel Levy would do, So I always had that in the back of my head. But, no, look, I have to say I'm relieved that it's happened because, look, we walked out of Fiorentina after 21 days. You know what I mean? There was a manager, he was a club, managed the club in Greece, and I think it was Greece. And, he resigned twice. And he's lasted no other job longer than 18 months. I'm not being funny, but, what has he done in the game to warrant a job like Tottenham? And this is why I keep saying, we built the stadium, we built the training complex to be attracting the very best of managers and getting the very best in. So, why are we going after nobodies? I get it. Under Levy's restrictions and stuff like that, it's probably around the level of what we're going to end up with. But it should not be happening. Regardless, it should not be happening. But no, look, the guy's a raving lunatic. Look, one thing, and it's the only positive I can say, if he did come in, the likes of Harry Winks and Dyer, he'd be walking out there with one in each arm, giving them a nuggie, to get out there and perform. He's the sort of character that would rough up the players, but that's the only kind of positive I have. And the reason why it's a positive is because the current squad right now need a bit of roughing up. So, but that's the only positive I can think of it. But no, I'm glad Tottenham didn't go near it. Absolute ludicrous, with some of his views and stuff like that. I can't believe Tottenham would even put themselves in that sort of PR situation, especially after everything that's gone on. So let's just say whoever's in charge of PR there at the club, they're not doing their due diligence and, they're not doing the job properly. And again, it just goes to show there's no accountability because these shit stuff, the bad stuff just keeps leaking out of this club.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm on the same page as all of you. I think that's why it was even kind of strange to even put the question that way when I was writing it up. Was like, maybe after all of this, maybe after losing Fonseca, even though that felt like a punch in the gut because we finally were kind of starting to come around to him, and then that fell through. But then, to be rumored with Gattuso felt like what David was saying, something that Levy would go ahead with, just because it was something that we didn't want. So it makes perfect sense for Levy to go ahead with it. And so maybe at the end of the day, I am actually a bit relieved that it didn't go through. But yeah, we have a super chat though in here from Kuva99. Big yourself up, Kuva. Very generous of you. And he says, wanted managerial position at Circus, experience not needed, plan not needed, staff not needed, training not given. Past the 10-minute mark, $2 not given. Absolutely. I mean, Kuva, that is just that might. Kuva, you've already started us off with maybe one of the super chats of the day.
I think
that's going to be a tough one to overcome. So big yourself up.
Do you know what I'm going to say to that? I want to say something. I just want to say something. I want to see people in the comments now. They've got to challenge this and see if they can get a better super chat than that right now. I want to see people bring those super chats in and see if you can beat this super chat, because that is going to be a hard one to beat.
I'm not being funny, but lads, who doesn't want to end Father's Day with Irish Hotspur Super Chat of the day? Honestly, it's going to be the greatest feeling you've ever had.
Exactly.
But Super Chat so far. But I also want to get back to Aaron Dove's comment there for you, Danny. He wants to know how you managed to smuggle the bun.
Bun's had some drugs, so he's a bit tired at the moment. So and like it's by order of the Irish blinders. So that is it.
It's not.
Look, what other panel show would you get 4 people wearing the same flat caps? It's the style. I brought it to YouTube and it's taken over. But big up Kuva99 for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, my man. You have no idea how much it really does that. So thank you so much.
It's not a bun though. It's called a budgie, isn't it, up there? So and we all know he's great at budgie smugglers.
That's budgie smugglers is what Bob is sitting in right now currently.
That was yesterday.
But look, we have 300 people watching. Lads, make sure the like does add up. You don't want to get me angry. You don't want to get me disappointed. The Harris Army, you know what you got to do. Smash that like button, guys. Make sure you smash it. Make sure the likes add up. But Jacko, let's go with the next question, my man.
Absolutely. We'll go here to the man himself, to the bun man. And it's kind of in relation to kind of maybe how frustrating it was, right, Danny, to have maybe the Fonseca, go through the door, to have it fall through. To me, at least, I even, one of the nights before he fell through, I was pretending to be a Fonseca sexual. Even myself, I was kind of convincing myself even on that day. And it really felt like a punch in the gut. And so even with the likes of Fonseca, like someone we had to Google, right, someone that did not really have a huge managerial pull or kind of favor, the fact that we couldn't even get him through, the fact that he said no, then what does that make you think? Like, what type of Spurs manager then, Mr. Bunman, do you think that would say yes to Spurs? What type of manager would say yes to Spurs? Any in specific, or or just even the character? What type of what is he looking for? Like, how desperate is he?
I think Daniel Levy's looking for someone without a brain. So maybe maybe a zombie. I mean, I think maybe he might try and dig out Bill Nick again and try and get him to manage a team. Because I think we need someone like him. So I think he'd be a great shout. He'd probably get more out of Winks than anyone else. So let's bring Bill Nick back.
What is Levy doing, Danny, that you feel like is making all these managers decline? I feel like, maybe they've been all in some degree related to the financial contract or the compensation they're being offered. But like, what do you think each time is maybe making them decline or pull out of the agreement every time? The idea of Fonseca pulling out is absurd when you really think about it.
It's Levy's. Well, I don't think it was Fonseca that pulled out. I think it was Levy.
It was Tottenham, who didn't want to.
But I mean,
meet
really,
his demand.
It should have started like Bob said yesterday. Levy's dad should have pulled out before, so and then Levy wouldn't be here, so it would sort out all of our problems. But but look, in honesty, right? Levy, he just wants he. I think what he wants is he just wants like someone who just basically is going to be yes man, and I think it's got to be someone who is willing to just who doesn't really care too much about their career, in the sense where like they're small enough to take a job like Spurs, which could be a challenge for them, but in a sense where if they do bad, it's not going to damage their career, sort of thing. I think that's who he wants. Because, like, if you say, for example, you give someone like Scott Parker the job, right? Just for example, if he goes to Tottenham and does bad, a smaller team than Tottenham's still going to want him as a manager. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you go to like, if say Conte came in, he did absolutely shocking because of what he was demanding to take the job, right? If he wasn't back the way he would have been, the way he needs to be, then if he fails, it looks bad in his career. Like Jose Mourinho coming to Spurs, it was the first club he's ever been to without winning a trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's in 20 years of managerial career, so he kind of fucked his career up there. But I think he just wants someone now. He's trying to find someone who can play the way he wants to play, who's also got a bit of experience, but who also can be a yes man and work within the tight constraints at Spurs. And basically, that doesn't exist. So he's got to try and find someone now who can give him a few of those things, and he's got to compromise somewhere. But the problem is, if he doesn't do that, then we are going to end up with Ryan Mason again next season, and that's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to take the super chat first from Brad Matthews, and he says, "Is it a flat cap 4?" If I'm taking this right, I think he's talking about it's a back 5, flat cap 5, flat cap 4 with the libero role. But he says, "Arg, I meant the flat cap 4. That's beer for you." Big yourself up, Brad Matthews. I love it. Absolutely.
Big up, Brad.
Big yourself up.
Yeah.
I just want to say there's a few people that are not Spurs fans saying that showed up and they're recommending and stuff like that. So big yourselves up for tuning in. They said they want to hear what our Spurs fans have to say. And then there's a lot of people just absolutely bigging up the panel. They're loving the panel. So big yourselves up, guys. You're like superstars here. So you big yourselves up. And Brad Matthews, look, it is a bit like that, isn't it? I get it. But no, look, thank you so much for the super chats, my man. I really do appreciate it. And look, next week I hope you're all going to be sitting there with a tub of Ben and Jerry's and a flat cap watching us again, lad. Big yourself up, man. I really do appreciate it, my man. Everyone else, keep getting our super chats in. The chat is flying. I'm literally struggling to keep up. If you genuinely want your comment discussed and read out and stuff like that, make sure you get your super chats in. I know, the circumstances in the world, a lot of people can't. I will get your channel, your comment up on screen and stuff like that as well. And don't be afraid to interact with each other in there. This is what the Harris Army is for. Sorry, let Bob answer that. I'm shut up.
No, David, you're fine. Sir Bobspur, what type of manager would even say yes to leave your Spurs? Like, what, how desperate does he have to be? How thirsty does he have to be? How hungry does he have to be? Like, in what type of state would any manager maybe accept the terms that Levy probably would offer?
Someone with a loose arsehole so Levy can shove his hands up it. Because, he's basically what he's doing. He's going around, he's ticking up. As soon as the manager becomes available, right, let's get associated with him. Negotiate, cross. Negotiate. No, that's not happening. He's going to go through every single available manager till we're left with one option, and that one option, like Danny says, is going to be Mr. Mason. And for me, it's Mason in. I've had enough that I'm willing to see Spurs get relegated to get them fuckers out.
Yeah.
And the only way. No. Hear me out. Because the amount of shit this is going through, and it's my personal opinion, the fact that they even considered the likes of Gattuso, combined with the fact they were going to kill the club. For me, enough is enough. And the only way, for me, in my opinion, there's only way they will leave you're going to leave. There's two ways. Well, there's only one way, really, is financially hit their pocket. And there's two ways of doing that. First of all, protest. And that would be my first choice. But I've lost all confidence in, I'll call you out, the fucking Spurs fan base for not doing what they're going to say. We've got NFL games coming up. Let's go there. Let's make a protest. Let's fuck it up. Because that's the only way. If NFL turn around to Levy and say, you know what? Sorry, God, it's not for me. Yeah. His cock would drop off. He would not like it whatsoever. He would think, what the fuck? What do I do? All this revenue going, leaving Tottenham Hotspur. Or you know what? Fuck it. Let's sell while we can. That's number one. I've got no confidence in that. No confidence. Any of the Spurs fans coming along. Danny will come. I know Stell will come. Mr. K will come. Whoever else was there, Dan. They'll come. The JP and them lot. They'll all come. Of course.
Henry was there.
Henry, yeah. Of course, you guys can't make it. Understandably. But leave you out and do fuck all about it. I've had enough of it. Second option, fuck it. Let's go down. Let's go down, get him out. Let's rebuild like Man City did. Let's get the fuck up. Let's start again. Let's start a fucking rebuild.
Yeah.
No, take the super chat. I just want to come in on just one thing that Bob said.
Yeah, absolutely, David.
Read
the super chat first. Sorry, David.
Oh, yeah.
We got a super chat in here from Tim Man 007. Really good to see you in here and the chat, Tim Man. Always good to see you, and always thank you so much for the super chat. Always a true legend. He says, "What manager is going? What manager is going to come to Spurs? What manager is going to come to Spurs with no backing and stuck with these players? Recipe for disaster. Levy must be a gooner." I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if he's a gooner. I think he's honestly just the devil, because I don't even know if a scummer would be this cruel to us. To be honest, I feel like they would eventually, would probably, take it off the gas pedal a little bit with what we've been going through. So I honestly think he might actually be the devil reincarnated. But Tim, man, I absolutely agree. That's why I keep even asking the question, because it seems like if Fonseca, gave them this counter offer saying, look, I need to be paid at least the same amount, for Roma, probably it's just saying, look, I'm accustomed to a certain style of living. I'm accustomed to Egyptian sheets, I can't downgrade. And they weren't able to accommodate him for it. And so then that made me think, like, what manager would say yes then to whatever Levy's offering? But you're absolutely right, Tim, man. We're on the same level here. Big up for that super chat.
Yeah.
And
David, big up Tim Man 007 for the super chat. Really do appreciate it, my man. You're absolutely spot on. You're spot on. I agree with you. It's just it's a recipe for disaster. Even Gordon Ramsay couldn't come up with this one, my man. But big yourself up, Tim Man. I really appreciate it. I just want to send out an apology to Shauna Blaney as well. I was supposed to get her on the channel yesterday. Look, things, Sean, I ended up doing a double shift for We Are Tottenham TV, but I will get you on. Don't worry about that. And there was a comment here that sums up the Harris Army in one, and it's from the Unlimited Digital Lifestyle. This is amazing how fans can hear their words via your channels. 1,000% more effective than the traditional channels. Keep up, guys. Keep forming a new future with fans rule the clubs again. Big yourself up. I really do appreciate that, man.
Really well said, Unlimited. Really well said. Really well said, Unlimited.
Just from what Bob said. Look, I'm all for getting Innick out. I want them out. I'm done with them. I'm fed up. I want to make that clear. I could never want the club to get relegated. I can see your point. I see your point. But for me, I could not. It will hurt me. It will destroy me. It'll hurt in here to see that club get relegated to the Championship, and I couldn't go through it. I could not go through it just to get owners out. For me, look, I'd rather stay in the Premier League. I get what you're saying. But I'm just not to that extreme. I'd never want this club to ever be relegated from the Premier League ever. Ever.
Of course,
obviously, sometimes in the future that day might happen. It's never ever too good to go down. But I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. For me, of course, I don't have to sit there and tell you guys or anyone that I want to see Spurs go down. I think it's just a sense of being disillusioned, mate, more than anything. It's the sense of it happening over and over and over again, and the lack of protests and the lack of voices from the Spurs fan base. Of course, I don't want to see Spurs, but what I was trying to say, and I've said this, if it means the only way Innick and Levy are going to go is to see Spurs relegated, that's how badly I want them out, and if that's the only option, I'll take it, as much as it'll fucking hurt me. And like I say, coupled with the disillusioned state of everything else that's going on. And Danny knows what I'm on about. He's probably thinking, fucking, here we go again. That's what it is. Of course, I don't want to see him go down, mate. But if that's the last choice, and it means a rebuild without Innick, I tell you what, would show a lot more fucking passion on the pitch.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Bob. But we got a super chat in here from Dermot Moyles, the very generous Dermot Moyles. So big yourself up, Dermot. It's really good to see you. Thanks for joining us, and I do hope you're doing well. Well, brother. And he says, we are a club with no plan. We have owners who are related to the banana splits. No manager who have half decent would come to us. Please, Levy, just go. I mean, Dermot, yeah, absolutely. It is really just reaching that point where we know he's just intentionally torturing us. And at this point, I'm just giving up, and I'm just like, I'll throw up my white flag and just say, Levy, I've had enough. Just go. I give up. You defeated me. You're absolutely, Dermot. Absolutely. I'm very generous of you as well.
Yeah, big up, Dermot. I just want to say, keep fighting the good fight, my man. I hope all is good with you as well, lad. And I fully agree with your comments. I fully agree with your comment, my man. Big yourself up. And let's welcome in Jordan Stevens, channel member as well. Absolute legend. How you keeping, my man?
Yeah, Jordan.
How you keeping?
Good to see you, Jordan.
Just back to Jack's question.
Yeah.
What manager will come in?
What type of manager would say yes to Levy, basically, David? At this point, after it fell out with Fonseca, obviously Levy, said no to his counteroffer. So then after that, really, who would say yes to Levy at this point?
Honestly, I don't know. Because, look, any top manager is not going to come to the negotiation table because it's like a top player. When you're a top manager, the club gives you what you want if they really, really want you. That's how they operate. So we're going to get a manager. Look, it's going to be very underwhelming. It's going to be very underwhelming with the wages Tottenham are willing to offer, with the money that they're willing to offer to rebuild with and stuff like that. It's going to be super underwhelming. It could be worse than Fonseca and Gattuso. Honestly, it really could. And I just don't want it. For me, I'm going to be, look, no matter who the manager comes in, if I find it underwhelming, I'm still going to support the manager. But I'm going to ridicule Leaning. I'm going to ridicule him. I'm not messing because, I keep harping back to it. We haven't built a stadium and everything else like that just to be getting in a mediocre manager. Some people can say, look, it's where we are. Accept it. No. Levy built my hopes up to top four. We were up in and around there.
Yeah.
I'm not lowering my hopes. At the end of the day, he's 20 years built my hopes up there. Now it's up to him now to get the situation sorted out. With the manager situation, look, I honestly think we could end up with someone like a Scotty Parker, someone like a Nuno Espirito Santo. I don't want them. But I reckon that's who we're going to come in. Very best we can probably hope for right now is Ten Hag. But even I think that's off the table. Spurs already dipped their toes in the water, didn't get it done. If they came back calling to me after putting another 12 names out there, I really wouldn't entertain them. I really wouldn't because, look, any manager from the outside knows we're in huge trouble right now. Across the board, financially, the squad, the PR of the club, the reputation, it's all in the bin. It's all in the bin. And for me, you're either going to get a mediocre manager who people could say, maybe if you give him a top club, he could do well, like a Sean Dyche. People say that about Sean Dyche, which, coming to Tottenham, it's a different gravy. He's not going to do well. So we'll be gambling, which his club, the size of Tottenham, should not be gambling on. Or we're going to get a manager who has had a lot of top clubs and for some reason keeps getting top clubs, who's not really any good. So I don't know where we go from here. I don't have the answers. I wish I did. But it's just frustrating on every level. It's just frustrating on every level. The thing is, we couldn't be sitting here talking about Conte. But even before them rumours and the Pochettino coming back rumours, we should have had a manager appointed by the end of the season. Because right now, we're just missing out on players. And like I said this before, it's genius by Daniel Levy. The longer this goes on, he's not paying a manager. And B, he's not signing players because he can't sign players because there's no manager. Yep. So the thing is, he's saving all around. And by the time we do act, it's going to be too late. And it's going to be like, the management thing took so long to get right. Be honest, do you know where I think we're going? I think when Belgium get knocked out of the Euros or if they win it, as soon as Euros is finished, I think Roberto Martinez is coming in. It was the first name banded around. Maybe look, the Belgium FA, maybe it's already done. The Belgium FA just said, look, you're not announcing it until after Euros. And this is just going to prolong until that happens. I don't know. That's just my gut feeling.
Do you know
he should be winning that tournament. He should be winning that tournament with that squad.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, it's a failure. It's a failure.
I think Daniel Levy has left it up to either Gareth Southgate or Roberto Martinez.
But you know what?
Letting them go into the ring against each other. Who finishes top?
Can I say something, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, what's the point of bringing a fucking director of football if you're going to go for Gareth Southgate or Martinez is someone who Paratici would never have gone for in the first place? This is someone completely off the list of who he wanted. This is someone who Steve Hitchen and Daniel Levy drew up the list of who they were going to go for as potential candidates. So again, it's just going above Paratici. And it's like, what is the fucking point of having a director of football? It makes no sense because I'm telling you, he's going to get sacked soon as well because the club's in an absolute fucking dire, shambolic state.
Danny, I just want to know, when have we got to a point, lads? When have we got to a point where fans are arguing over, Harry Potter and fucking Scotty Starstruck? We were literally arguing over them at the start of the summer before the season ended. When have we got to the point at Tottenham Hotspur that we're arguing and trying to convince each other of 2 relegation candidates every single season? Honestly, the warning signs were there long before. We should have woke up way before this.
Yep.
Dave, Fonseca
Me included, everybody.
Fonseca was technically our 8th choice. Yeah,
Yep.
Fonseca was our 8th choice. We as a fan base have got so sick and tired of it. We came to a basic combined agreement that fuck it, let's welcome him in. Let's take him in. Let's back him. Let's see how it goes. We were ready to accept someone who hadn't proved it. He couldn't even fucking do that for us. He couldn't even get that over the line.
Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree. But we got a super chat in here from Jason Groves, and it's a good one. I don't know. Let me guys know how it compares to the first one. But he says wanted one fuck nugget with no clue or ambition. Please contact at Daniel Levy so we can make sure you have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
I can actually hear him say that.
I can as well.
One fuck nugget with no clue or
fuck nugget. I love Jason.
Bro. I can just picture. I can just hear him say
it. Nugget with no clue or ambition.
Guys, how does this compare to the first one? Does it take the belt? Does it take the belt?
It's Jace.
Look, I love the use of chicken and the profanity. Great word put together. But in all honesty, as much as I love Jason, I do think Kuva probably still deserves super chat in the game. But
sorry, Jace.
Jason has put in a very good attempt.
Very good.
It's very strong.
I love the word.
Very good attempt, Jace. Very good attempt.
Very good. Yeah, I think it was very close. But we have one from Ginty here, £5 super chat in here as well. Very generous of you, Ginty. And he says, Bob and I are on stage 5 of grief. Acceptance, we need to go down and to get them out. Irish is still on stage 2. Anger. It's okay, Irish. Join us. It's better. Irish, you got to get over to stage 5. You got to get over to stage 5.
He's Scottish. This is the Scottish guy, yeah?
Yeah, wicked, mate. Wicked.
Yeah, look, I want to say thank you so much to your countrymen the other day. You really made my Friday evening. It was absolutely brilliant. Up the Celtic blood, big yourselves up. Appreciate that. But look, I'm not on stage 2. I'm not on stage 5 anyway. That's for sure. I'm not that extreme. I'd say I'm on stage 3, tethering on stage 4, but I'll never get to stage 5, my man. I'll never get to stage 5. Ever. I just never want to see Tottenham in the Championship, so I'll never ever get to stage 5, my man. I could never join that level. But big yourself up. Really appreciate the super chat. Great performance the other day. Up the Tartan Army.
Yeah, big yourself up, Ginty. That's very good. And George here, David, I think, I don't know who should answer this, but George here, generous super chat, he says, but flat caps are so yesterday, David.
Yeah, look, George, look, I know you stole the credit card out your mommy's purse to put this in. I appreciate that. Appreciate the effort you went through. But look, anyone watching, if they know George's mommy, please contact her. Tell him he has a hold of the credit card. And look, it's 9:30. The internet should be turned off. Sorry, it's 10:20. You should be in bed, tucked in, getting a bedtime story, my man. But big up, George. I really do appreciate it. To be honest with you, I want to say, George, I actually appreciate the level of shithousery you went to there. So big yourself up, but you should be aware of the internet.
George is good. George will come back. He's all right.
Well done, George. Well done, George.
George takes banter. He's all right.
He's loving it. He's a smiley face here in the comments.
The person who has one who's put egg on our face in the past plenty of times with the manager rumors, Maria Williams. She says here as we've gone through more managers than Katie Price has husbands. Okay, I don't know that. That's on a different level. Maybe that's taking the belt there.
That's super chat of the day. I think that's super chat of the day.
Taking the belt there. Maria's taking the belt there. I
Big up,
absolutely
Maria.
love it, Maria.
Look, everybody really do appreciate the super chats. Keep getting them in. The chat is flying. It's hard to keep up and keep debating with this fire and fury that's going on right now. We are going to keep trying to get all the comments up. But you want your panel, your comment discussed, or you want to even try and get Irish Hotspur super chat of the day. Get your super chats in, guys. And make sure there's nearly 386 people watching right now. Make sure you have smashed that like on the stream. Subscribe on the channel if you're brand new. We're trying to hit 3.5k before the season starts. Harris Army, you can do that. Make sure you share the stream. And I want to big up Shamu Van Woo. He's in the building. Big yourself up, man.
Big yourself up, Shamu. The legend himself. The legend of the itches. Shamu. But yeah, going back to Bundman here, going to Danny here, maybe moving on to the next question here. We are now supposedly, Danny, most heavily rumored or most heavily linked, right, with Ernesto Valverde, formerly of Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao. I mean, what do you make of this? Is this in any way believable? And then, the latter, the second part to this question is, like, is there any manager maybe in the list, the ones that we've been rumored with in the past, or anybody that's in that managerial list that maybe does seem actually still believable, that does seem like, Levy could still get this through? Maybe more or less, is Ernesto maybe too hard for Levy, or is Ernesto too smart for Levy? And then the second question would be maybe who's the easy one, of the list maybe for Levy? Like who's an easy target for Levy?
To be honest with you, Jack, I'll be brutally honest. I've got no fucking idea, mate. I've literally got no fucking idea. I mean, we've gone through like that brilliant comment. I mean, we've gone through more managers than Katie Price has gone through husbands. So I mean, that is brilliant. That is literally the truth. And
Danny, can I just cut across you for 1 second?
Go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
Look, Daniel Levy, you're on your burner account. Change it to your real account. I'm sorry about, I don't know if you realise, but look, you're on your Babe Station account. Change to your Daniel Levy account. Big yourself up.
I thought that was Bob's other channel for a second. I thought it said Bob Station.
Bob Station.
Bob Station Triple X.
You can go see the skid marks there.
That's it.
Sorry, Danny. Back to the show.
I actually don't. I've got no idea who we're going to go for. For me, every manager that is linked is a load of bullshit. If you ask me, all these rumors, it's all there for clickbait. It's all there. I've always said this, right? My hidden agenda is that the Tottenham throw out these names for a reason, because they've got deals with the betting companies and all this kind of stuff. And whenever they say throw out a name out, all right, now Ten Hag is the Bob OnlyFans. He's got an actual OnlyFans as well, just to let you know. Yeah. But anyway, look, I honestly have got no idea, and I just think that Tottenham have got their deals with their betting companies, and whenever a new name is thrown out, they get probably a percentage of all the bets that people make on the managers and stuff like that. So they probably make money from it. It's Daniel Levy-esque all over, man. This managerial merry-go-round. It's just because the amount of times that you see who's the best odds for and stuff like that, people bet on it, and that's the thing. And I just think it's another money-making scheme from Levy, if you ask me.
Through William Hill or something like that. Yeah.
Before we let Bobby, just everybody else in the comments, make sure you let us know what you think on Valverde.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And taking a super chat in here from Aaron Dub yet again. Very generous of you, Aaron. He says, enjoying the crack. I believe that's what he meant. Yeah, I mean, it's the best kind there is at the moment, coming from the Irish Hotspur. And also, Aaron, being very generous tonight. And someone help out Aaron. And Aaron, you've been one of the very generous ones tonight. So that means you are entitled to let us know what the Ben & Jerry's flavor of choice is tonight. You have to let us know what it may be. Maybe it's something else than ice cream, but you still got to let us know at the end of the day, Aaron. Going to you, Bob. Ernesto, supposedly the one we're most heavily linked with. First question is, does this at all seem even remotely believable? And then the second thing is, maybe of the managerial list that you've seen, of the ones that are, a part of the betting odds, is there any one of those that you actually still might think like, yeah, Levy would be able to pull that one off?
When Ten Hag came about, I thought, ex-manager, let's Google him and check out a few bits. And then fast forward, Paratici was coming in as a director of football. I thought, let's Google him. Then Fonseca came to the fore, and we're like, right, let's Google him. Then Valverde came to the fore, and I thought he sounds like an Italian side dish. Don't remember, it was salsa verde, not Valverde. And then I thought, no, fuck it, I'm not going to Google him. I don't want to know. I'm not bothered anymore. Bit like done it. I'm not bothered, mate. It's whoever comes in will come in, and the one who's most achievable is Ryan Mason. I keep on saying Ryan Mason. This is all building up to get Ryan Mason in. The lube's ready. The gloves are all ready. He's doing his stretches to make that loose.
Bob, do you want to show us the type of stretches he's be doing?
And yeah, that's what we set up. We set up Ryan Mason to be our manager, coach, head manager, head good head. He's coming in to be and as for Salsaverdi, don't know, mate. Don't give a shit.
Look, on Valverde, with some of the names that we've been close to getting in, I actually think it's a step up from some of the names we've had. Look, the only thing with Valverde, the reason why I think, Tottenham might struggle to get over the line, and this is because at Olympiacos, after he done the league and cup double, they were offering him not what he wanted and he walked.
Yeah.
So look, that's the only thing that sort of concerns me. But look, he can't be that bad of a manager if he's managed Barcelona. And where he's gone with Espanyol, he's done well.
He won a double at Barcelona as well. He won a double at Barcelona as well, I think.
Mate, you could manage Barcelona, win the fucking double. Come on, let's be honest.
True. Yeah, true.
Let's be honest, man. With the team that they've got.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
that
they wouldn't have given him the job if he was a bad manager. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They're like, look, for me, I just think he's better. He's definitely a step up than Fonseca, Gattuso.
Who's the manager there now? Who's the manager there now?
Ronald Koeman.
Who's the manager there now?
Ronald Koeman.
There you go. And there you go.
And he did bad at Everton, didn't he, as well?
Ronald Koeman is the manager there right now. And he's
but Ronald Koeman has done actually quite well this season, you would say.
He's managed the Netherlands and everything. He can't be that bad.
He's done. It was shit at Everton. It was shit at Everton. He did okay at Southampton. He didn't do any better at Southampton than what Rosenhart or Pochettino did there. No, I'm sorry. Just because you've got Barcelona CV, mate, doesn't mean you're going to become a good manager anywhere else. Ronald Koeman is the manager there right now, and he's doing very well. And he was fucking shit at Everton.
One thing we have to take, look, Barcelona are not going to play Valverde if he doesn't play a sort of passing football, attacking football. So that's another thing we can take into consideration. Yeah. That it probably would be the right fit in that sense of this sort of playing sort of style. Look, by no means, I think there's better. I do think there's better managers out there that we can go and get. I really do. Look, I'm not 100% sold on Valverde, but he is better than what we have been linked with. A lot better than what we have been linked with, and that's just my point on it.
Does anyone know if he does if he trains with the youngsters, like he brings up the youth? Do you remember if anyone knows?
He's kind of played Sergio Busquets a lot, and Matt Hayes, in a way, I agree with you and disagree with you. Yeah. He started off really poor, but then in a way, he completely recovered it, and he recovered it from complete horrendous state, and also they didn't really have a lot of investment this season. No, they played a lot of youth this season. This has arguably been their worst team so far in probably a decade. So I think he's actually. Trust me, I don't think he's a good manager. But I would hate to say it. I do think he's actually, performed adequate. I would say he's performed adequate. I wouldn't say he's performed poor. But I would say, moving on though. I think I'm moving on to David here now. Or David, I think you did answer about Ernesto. So is there any person in that managerial list though, David, that you think is somewhat achievable? The Alan Pardus of the world, the Roberto Martinez's of the world, the Gareth Southgates, who's in that list that, Levy might think is the one?
Bill Nicholson.
Well, look, if Southgate comes in, we can all sit there singing "Southgate, you're the one." You know what I mean? All that sort of jazz. No, look, for me, I definitely don't want Brownlow Southgate. The only thing is, if he does come in, the FA might do us a few favours, bend a few rules for us because he's Brownlows them that much. Look, being honest, I'd give Zidane a chance. I would give Zidane a chance.
Dave, he's not going to come to us, is he?
Put the feelers out there. Put money out there. This is the problem. When Jack asked me who I wanted, never said I had to be realistic. He said who I wanted. And for me, I want the very best for my football team. And it's that simple. I want a big name. This is why we built the stadium. This is why we built the training complex. We can sit here and say, it's not achievable or will he come to Tottenham? I don't care. The reason why we built the training complex and everything else was to be able to bring in these sort of guys, attract these sort of guys. That's why we've done it. Now, unless I got lost somewhere down the line, I'm pretty sure that's why we've done it. That's why we built the stadium and everything else. So, my expectations are raised there. I'm not going to lower them. It's up to Daniel Levy to meet.
And that's why
he brought me to his expectations. So I want the very best for football. I give Zidane a chance. He's won 3 Champions Leagues back to back on the trot. I look, I would go back and try and give Poch another chance. I go back to Conte and tell him we'll give you what we want. You know what I mean? Look, people can sit here and say, "Oh, money, this, that, and the other." At the end of the day, no other club around the world ever make excuses on money and why they can't bring in players or why they can't bring in a manager, especially to the extent that Daniel Levy went to do a video. No other club, only at Tottenham Hotspur. I'm pissed off with it. I'm just fed up. I don't care. I want the very best. People can say, "Oh, let's start getting realistic." Me getting in the very best manager for Tottenham is being realistic because I care about this club. And the very best manager, for Tottenham will surely start trying to bring us in the right way. I don't want any of these relegation candidates. Honestly, it's a joke. People can sit here and tell me it's not realistic, but, half these people are sitting there going, "Oh, Expelliarmus goals, XG, Mr. Potter." You know what I mean? This is why you should come into Tottenham. This, that, and the other. So, honestly, don't tell me it's not achievable or it's not realistic when you guys are telling me you're trying to advocate for a relegation candidate. It's that simple. Can't put it any more plainer than that. Don't advocate for a relegation candidate and tell me my choices aren't realistic.
So I was going to say, right, so looking at the situation now, Dave, right, and how the club is, how Daniel Levy is, how all of this is, who is realistic? Because he ain't going to go for Conte because he's not paying
that was the question, yeah.
He ain't going to go for Fonseca because he doesn't even want to pay him an extra €1 million for tax reasons. I mean, that's a joke. So if you're not going to get Fonseca for that, you're not going to get Conte for that, you're not going to get a manager who's in a contract, right? Who realistically is going to be there? Because Gautier is still an option. He's still a free agent. But who else realistically do you think we could get?
What's realistic is Martinez. I think
Zidane's a free agent.
Yeah, but he's going to want a big contract. He's not going to come. And also, I don't think Zidane's a good manager, if I'm honest opinion.
But I'm not agreeing with you, David. It's not you, matey. It is purely the Levy factor. Like I keep on saying, Levy factor. He's disillusioned us so much. He's disillusioned us. Mate, fucking Sandra from number 24 could go in and say, "Oh, be the best manager in the world."
I'll get Levy's disillusioned, but it doesn't mean we should lower our expectations.
I agree with Dave. I want the best.
Because at the end of the day, we do that. He's winning because it's what he wants. The expectations have been lower because of the shit on the pitch, right? Yeah, that's what he wants because it means he doesn't have to spend the money. I am not lowering my expectations. He built them up there. It's up to him to maintain it. I'm not lowering them. It's that simple because it's giving him what he wants. I'm not lowering them. Zidane is a free agent. It's achievable. Once anyone's on the free market, you can go and get them.
I agree, David. Actually, that's a good answer.
On that point, I don't agree with Zidane, though.
Just quickly, some people are saying he's a checkbook manager. Every manager steps into football as a checkbook manager. Doesn't matter what level they're at. They spend money. It's a stupid comment to make. Next.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to be moving on a little bit into the Paratici realm, into the Paratici. But this is kind of in the reference to, Paratici is supposed to be given tons of autonomy, supposed to be given tons of independence, right, from Levy when it comes to everything transfers, when it comes to the managerial hunt as well. But which one do you think he actually has maybe a bit more independence from Levy, a bit more autonomy from Levy? Is it the managerial hunt or is it maybe the transfers? I'll maybe go to Bob here just to switch it up. Bob, do you think he maybe has a bit more independence from Levy? Levy doesn't, mess with him or, give as much of a, a go or a green light. Maybe he has a bit more freedom when it comes to the transfers or maybe the managerial hunt. What do you think?
I think there's already rumours and whispers coming through this club that Daniel Levy and Paramatofu don't get on. There's difference of opinion, there's difference of agenda, there's difference of ambition. Oh, surprise, surprise, someone's got more ambition than Daniel Levy. I'll put my neck out and say he's going to last 2 weeks. I don't see him. If it carries on and the voices get louder and clearer, it's going to be another potentially good appointment we've got within our club that Daniel Levy is going to fob off. Do not be surprised because it's early on in his
he's already working for free, Bob. He hasn't even signed.
That's it. Before he can walk away before the 1st of July. He will walk away before the 1st of July.
Bob, we said it last night on your stream. Yeah. We said the next, Tottenham's announcements, right, have been bad every single time for the last 3-4 months, whatever it is, since the ESL, since Jose, all of them, every single one of them, not a good announcement whatsoever. And what we were saying was we might as well put a bet on what's the next bad announcement. And what we said was we believe that Paratici is going to be gone That's what we think next announcement is going to be with Tottenham.
Yeah.
Or we honestly think it.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I'm going to take the super chat first from Brad Matthews. And he says, I'm so disillusioned. I'm beginning to think Klinsmann could be a good idea. Not a bad record with Germany and USA. And he knows Spurs. Am I mad? Listen, Brad, you're a very generous man. And in that regard, I wouldn't say you're mad at all. But maybe in this scenario, maybe too much has gone. Maybe too many beers, from the Father's Day celebration, too many burgers, too many hot dogs. Maybe the barbecue fumes have come in, a bit too much or something. But yeah, I would say maybe that is a little crazy, to consider Klinsmann. But yeah, David.
Yeah, everybody look out for Brad Matthews' Spurs story coming out tomorrow. Make sure you get over and check it out when it's released. Absolute good guy. Big yourself up. Season ticket holder as well. Gets down to the ground regularly and everything else. Legend. Big yourself up, Brad Matthews. And as well, look, just on Klinsmann, just quickly. Alex is in the comments 1 minute. But with Klinsmann, look, the thing is, the guy literally threw his name into the ring. Yeah. He wants it. Now, if we're trying to beg managers to come in, I'll probably just give it to the guy if he really, really wants it and he's throwing his hat in the ring, even though everyone else is running away from it. Give it to him.
Dave,
he's an ex-legend.
I want to add to this. I don't want Klinsmann anywhere near this club, and it's for the reason what Philipp Lahm said in his biography, right? And what he said was that when he was managing Bayern Munich, he literally left the players to do what they wanted, to manage themselves. They were literally
they revolted. They revolted.
So he had no tactics in place. He had no training sessions or any training regimes in place, right? He had nothing. And they were literally managing the team themselves. And I do not want a manager who's going to come into Spurs and an ex-Spurs legend, right, to be like this with our team and how we are right now. We need someone who's going to unite everyone.
He also got USA to a semi-final of the World Cup, if I stand corrected.
It's different though. Like Will knows the reasons why he wasn't good for USA. But look, for me personally,
Jack knows. Yeah.
I hate the USA team, but I'll say that I don't rate him as a manager simply because in the USA team, he had moments where he got to the semifinals, but he also simultaneously missed that World Cup bid as well. So you also look at it, in two ways, where he was losing to the likes of Honduras, El Salvador, Panama.
Just gonna get a drink.
No problem. So he lost to countries like that, and that's how we didn't make the World Cup the next time. He also, I think he took.
Well, he's going through a rebuilding phase at that stage, though.
Maybe so, but you still think about the competition that the U.S. has in the CONCACAF. It's really not that difficult. And so, to be honest,
I get that. I get that, but the thing is, at the time, you didn't have a lot of exports across Europe, so you were picking a lot of MLS players at the time.
No, we were.
Now the thing is, you were going through a rebuilding stage with Klinsmann. Now it's the same with Ireland. We've gone from Robbie Keane and players of that ilk to what we have now. All bar beer, we're going through this rebuilding stage a lot longer. But the thing is, there's only so much a manager could do if the players aren't up to that quality.
Yeah, but David, I think simultaneously when he left USA, one of his next jobs was at Hertha Berlin, which I believe only lasted one of my clubs. Yeah. It only lasted practically seconds there. That was a pretty torrid spell. He's just really, it seems like, has never been able to win over any dressing room. And maybe that's what Danny was alluding to. It seems like there's always been some type of I don't know, just some type of loss of motivation, loss of desire or will, because that seems to be the case always in the dressing room. That was the case for Hertha Berlin. That was the case for the USA team. There was just seemingly this weird kind of inner revolt inside the dressing room. And David, I really respect him as a player, respect him as a person. I don't know how this happens. He seems like he has all the right tools to be a good manager. He speaks really well. I feel like he has all the right tools. And to be honest, David, I don't know what maybe is going wrong for him.
Do you know what, Jack, as well?
Yeah, no, look, just quickly, thank you, Brad Matthews, for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. You got some good, nice, fiery debate out of it. And look, everybody else, get your super chats in, help support the channel, help support the show. Get your comments in, questions in for the panel. We want to sit here and discuss them. But the thing with Klinsmann as well, a lot of dressing rooms are managing themselves nowadays. So it probably suit his style. Yeah. Especially at Tottenham, the dressing room.
You know what it is, Dave? I don't want a legend like that to come in Spurs and fail because of Levy's incompetence to be an actual good chairman, right? And then what will happen is he'll just end up getting sacked and he'll tarnish his legacy with Spurs even more. Because just imagine if Klinsmann comes in and does absolutely shocking. Can you imagine what it would do to his career and with the Spurs fans, they'll start booing Klinsmann. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And because we're losing game after game after game after game, and like just imagine if that was to happen. I don't want that. I don't want Klinsmann anywhere near this club. If he's smart, he wouldn't touch us with a 2-bar pole. But I'm telling you, I don't want him. I think we need someone who's got a lot more experience.
1 second, Arthur. None of us are professing we know what's going on at Tottenham. In fact, we've said a number of occasions we don't know what's going on. We're just sitting here debating. It's all we're doing, man. We don't None of us have said we know what's going on at Tottenham. This is the thing. Not one of us has said it. Like some people that do say that, like Alistair Gold and all, they have connections. They're only putting out what they're told, man. That's all it is. But I understand what you're saying. But that's all it is.
Yeah. David, I think you saw Alex in the comments earlier, David.
Yeah. He's just winding me up. That's all.
Maybe I think I asked Bob first, so maybe I'll go to Danny here. I mean, Danny, is there any part in you that maybe thinks that actually Paratici might have maybe a bit more independence when it comes to finding a manager, or do you think he might have a bit more independence from Levy when it comes to maybe buying players? Which one basically do you think Levy will be basically less of a maybe like speaking of Father's Day, like a small child waiting right next to you, for a cookie or for the cereal in the morning?
It's difficult.
Which one do you think Levy maybe feels more passionate about? Which one do you think Levy maybe would like to be a bit more of a nuisance, a bit more annoying, let's say, a bit more in the way, let's say? Which one do you think he wants to be more in the way for? I
think everything really. I think he's just an absolute control freak. I mean, that's. I was having an argument with someone on Twitter about this today, and I was basically saying how the problem is, no matter what, he was saying how it's a good decision about bringing in director of football and things like it was also a good decision from Levy that we didn't bring in. He stopped the Gattuso thing. All right, I got that point, but the problem is, it's Levy the one who has the final say in everything anyway. He goes above everyone every single time.
He always has to green light.
Yeah, exactly. And if he doesn't agree with something, then you're literally just bypassing the person you've hired to do their job. And it's like, well, what's the point? It's just like Levy controls everything, and until he's gone, it's never going to change. That's my opinion, and I just think I just think he's an absolute piece of shit, to be honest with you. But anyway,
yeah. David, I'm gonna ask you here. Maybe think about it this way. Paratici, right? He comes out with this big presentation, for the manager. Look, this is the guy I identified. It comes to the boss man, asks him, this is the guy we should be looking at, and he brings out this big PowerPoint presentation. Let's say it's for a manager, and let's say the other PowerPoint is for a player. Which one do you think Levy, might just be, just do what you want, Fabio. Just say, whatever you think is best. Which one do you think Levy, might be a bit more reluctant to, be a bit more annoying or in the way?
Well, whether it comes to a player or manager.
Yeah, when it comes to a player or manager.
Manager is cheaper. It's cheaper. All he has to do is pay him wages. With a player, he has to pay a transfer fee, massitive transfer fee. So
agent fees, all that shit.
No.
For me, he'd definitely stand in the way of transfer coming in. Because look, I've no doubt he's personally attached to the likes of Wayne Steyer. They all grow up around the club. They see him every day. He's seen them grow up from boys to teenagers. Yeah. I was going to say men, but teenagers. Because they're not men. They don't lead like men on the field. But the thing is, we have to understand this. I can't stress this enough. Yes, Paratici was brought in. But all he's going to be is what Daniel Levy was for the last 20 years. New face of the club. Anything that needs answering, I'm going to put Paratici in the firing line. And Daniel Levy's going to take a bad step. No matter whether it's a manager or transfers, he's still going to have the final say and the final sign-off on it. It's just whether he's going to trust Paratici's expertise or not.
Yeah.
Whether he will or not, I don't know. But look, the thing is, Paratici, he's not going to come out anytime soon and go against Daniel Levy or saying to Nizzy. Yep. He's been paid millions of dollars, millions of euros, millions of pounds, whatever you want to say. And he's just going to toe the line, isn't he? He's just going to toe the line. The thing is, my qualms with Paratici. I wanted someone to come in and sign players and get rid of players and help with that process. Not take over the full running of everything and decide the next manager. That's what's pissing me off. like it just shows a lack of sorry, not a lack of, it shows incompetency on Daniel Levy's part.
Right.
Because he should know what manager he wants. You bring in the sporting director, you get them to work together.
He's already said what manager he wants, David.
After that, look, I know it's like, you know, the sporting director brings in players supposedly protecting the long-term future of the club, and he's identifying the right players to bring in. But at this point we're at, it should have been Daniel Levy bringing in the manager, getting Paratici to work with him. After that, when the manager goes, whatever, then the next manager comes in. Once we're back to where we should be, you know, then he comes in and he starts working with the players that a Paratici signs for the club. It's all wrong in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on, and I don't get good vibes from it whatsoever.
No, David. Yeah, before I get to the super chat, David, I actually completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Levy, I think when it, you know, manager, I bet he's actually just like, look, you know, like, right, it's just a small fee. Probably just told Paratici, you know, whatever's cheapest, you know, whatever's easiest to get through the door. And he probably doesn't actually care as much. And David, like you said, even he, in a way, Levy, it's kind of silly that it's taken this long just because Levy apparently knows what manager he wants. He wants an attacking manager, progressive manager, someone that's willing to use the youth. He said it in his own video. He said it verbatim. So in a way, it's quite ridiculous that we haven't signed one, considering he seems to have a really good idea, right? He seems to have a really good idea what manager he wants, but yet we've been rumored with all the ones that don't seem to fit that description. And then the other thing, David, I think you're right. You know, transfer fees, players, they cost a whole lot more, and those are the ones that, you know, he probably would have much more of a hand in. But yeah, I completely agree. To Stefan Bloy's super chat here, he says, thoughts on the idea of Mancini joining? I haven't really seen that rumor yet, but maybe out of all the ones out there, maybe that might be the one I might be most optimistic about.
I would love him. I would actually love him as a manager. I think the way he's taken that Italian team from the worst ever points in the FIFA rankings to playing the attacking football they're playing right now in the Euros, and
got Man City their first trophy as well.
Yeah, he was the first one to win the Premier League with them as well, and he plays a really nice style of football. Like
good player manager, sat down Balotelli, sat down Carlos Tevez. You know, good player manager as well.
I would love him. It's never going to happen, but I'd love him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. So I think we finished everything there, but I think I can get into this super chat first, though, from Unlimited Digital Lifestyle, who had an unbelievable comment earlier in the stream today. He says, 100% agree with Bob. Levy has been copying the top sixes, first hiring Mourinho, so next step is following Gunners and giving project to Ryan Mason. Look, you know, Ryan Mason, maybe that is the plan. You know, maybe they see that. Then again, though, why would he be copying the Scummers? They haven't been in the top six in, you know, some time. They haven't even been, you know, near hovering the best, but maybe I agree. Maybe he's thinking, you know, the training cone is the best way to win right now.
Yeah, look, someone that thinks like me, and to be honest with you, and what he means by, you know, following the Gunners is, I've said this a number of times, that Arsenal, they sacked Wenger, they brought in Unai Emery and stuff like that, you know, another experienced manager who's won things. All of a sudden, he wasn't good enough. Brought in a couple of other managers, you know, they weren't good enough. They got to a point where they couldn't attract another world-class manager, so they ended up getting in Pep's Conboy, right? Now, the thing is, you know, and they were declining year on year and not pulling their players up for the performances and realising the players weren't good enough. When they did realise it, it was too late. It was too late, you know, and the owners just weren't willing to part with the cash. So it was too late by the time they realised it, and there's not much change they could do, right? Now, with Tottenham, I've said this a number of times. We sacked Pochettino, a legend to Spurs fans. A bit like Arsene Wenger, they didn't have the long reign. I'd compare it to something like that. Then we went in and got Jose Mourinho. I compare that to hiring Unai Emery. Didn't work. We sacked him instead of investing. And now we're at a point where we can't get anybody in. So we're going to end up with probably Pochettino's going buy out a PSG or something like that. And this is what he means by going down the same road as the Gunners. And the thing is, what's scary is Gunners have been on this slippery slope for 6 to 8 years now, right?
Ours is a lot.
We're 2 years in.
Yeah.
Two. And we barely finished above them with one game before last game.
We're a bit longer, aren't we? We're about 3 years in because it was the back end of the Champions League season where
true.
Ours feels like a faster slip and slide, though. Ours definitely feels like a much faster slide down.
We've nearly got to Arsenal's level in that much time, like in such little time. We finished a point above Arsenal, wasn't it? Or goal difference, wasn't it?
I think it's something stupid. We barely finished ahead anyway.
And that tells a lot. And we got Harry Kane and Son in our team. They don't have world-class players like that.
Exactly. Big up Unlimited Digital.
Big up Unlimited.
Thanks very much for the super chat. Really
Big
do
up.
appreciate it.
Putting in some great comments today, Unlimited. Absolutely, 100% agree what you've been having to say. Ginty here with the yet again another super chat, and it says, "Who has had the worst PR, Levy or McGregor?" Maybe another Poppet, maybe trying to take the belt here. But what do you guys think? Who's maybe had worse PR? Maybe non-football related.
Oh, Levy's got to win it, hasn't he?
What's that Scottish comedian's name? The ginger guy?
I forgot his name.
It's all the mad stuff. I can't think of his name. Looks like one of the guys out of Pretenders or whatever you call them.
I can't remember his name.
Look, I would say to maybe answer it, I would say maybe Levy's had worse PR.
Is it Frankie Boyle?
Yeah.
Frankie Boyle.
Yeah, Frankie Boyle has worse PR. Ginty. Not McGregor. Take my Irish man out of there. It's Frankie Boyle.
Big yourself up, though, Ginty. Thank you for the super chat. And Jordan Stevens here. Good to see you, Jordan. He says, if I hear Ryan Mason again, I will jump off my roof. Listen, Ryan, I hope there's a nice soft padding and mattress, there. I hope you have some nice Egyptian sheets, to catch you on the bottom. But yeah, absolutely. It's really hard to
jump off the roof onto the trampoline, do a backflip and shmoo van move.
Do a Shamu Van Flipperoo back onto the roof. But yeah, absolutely, Jordan. I really do think, I'm tired of hearing Mason. I'm tired of even, even right here from Spurs related, even though it's very funny. I don't want to hear no Ryan Neto Masonetti coming in. I don't want to hear no Ryan Masonino. I really can't have it. But guys, maybe going on back to Paratici here. This is just maybe your confidence in his ability just as a director of football. Do you have, I'm going to go to Bob here. Do you have more confidence in Paratici's ability? Do you have more confidence in Paratici's ability to maybe sign a quality manager or maybe bring in a rebuild? Like, would you back him more to bring in the right manager or maybe do the right rebuild?
I have no confidence in Paratici whatsoever. He's been brought in as a Levy. Wasn't my fault, man. Yeah. That's what he's been brought in for.
Yep.
So if anything fucks up with regards to a player or manager, Levy has got the ability to turn around and say, hey, it had nothing to do with me. Not that he'd go all Italian, but say, yeah, it's nothing to do with me. It's this guy, Paratici. So
Paratici, yeah.
It's and I've got no. He's not done anything yet. He really hasn't. The only thing he's probably done is fobbed off Fonseca to bring in Gattuso. Now, was that Levy or was that Fonseca? We don't know. We're just guessing. But if it was Paratici, what a fuck up! What? I mean, he's got questions to answer. If it was Paramili, Lili, whatever, and said no, Fonseca, we don't want you now because Gattuso's available. Let's go for Gattuso. He's got some answering to do because And if it wasn't him and it was Levy, then my question would be why wasn't it Paratici's job? It's just not right. Nothing's happened yet. He's done nothing in my eyes to think, you know what, let's give him a chance. I'll give him a chance, of course I will. But so far, by what we're going by, it's been a shit show, and it has been a shit show for God knows how long. Like I say, before the 1st of July, he is not going to be there.
Interesting.
Go.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
Just quickly. Spurs related, another great channel. Get over, check it out. I will be on there tomorrow. But everyone is asking why are we all wearing the hats? Because I made it mandatory. That's why. I made it mandatory that we get the paddy caps, the Irish Hotspur hat, and we sit here, and it's now by order of the Irish Hotspur. So that's why we're all wearing the paddy caps. But big yourselves up. I'm glad you're all enjoying the hats as well. Yeah. 420 people. Make sure you get over to Bobspur TV. Check him out. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. He's on the push to 1K. Make sure you check out Jack Kineke and Danny Kyriacou as well. All their links for their social media is in the description below. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, you want to see more of this content regularly, make sure you smash or subscribe on the Irish Hotspur. 416 watching. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream. I want to see the Harris Generals getting out there, getting it done, smashing that like button. And look, why not get your super chats in? Help support the channel, help it grow. Grab your channel membership, fan show tomorrow. And look, like I said, help support the channel, but also get your opinions in, get your questions in. This is what we want. It's all about interacting with you guys.
Yep.
And big up all yous for watching, but make sure you do share it and smash that like. I can't stress enough how much it helps with the YouTube algorithm and how much the super chats and everything else really do help take this channel to the next level. So big yourselves up.
Yeah, I mean, to echo what David is saying, it's not only the Harris Army, it is the Flat Cap Army, and the Flat Cap Army is led by the Don Hotspur himself with the best flat cap there is on his head. But also the flat cap is essentially, it's like your microphone in order to come on and speak with David. For the fan show, if you don't have a flat cap, don't worry, David still be very kind to you. But it's almost like your little extra confidence. It's like that little extra bit of confidence because it's like you start to immediately start to think like David, you start to talk like David. So if that's your plan, if that's your route, if you want to think like David, talk like David, you got to grab yourself a flat cap and join the Flat Cap Army and be led by the Don himself. But yeah, I'm going to Danny here, and it's kind of it's just your confidence in Paratici, Danny. Like, do you back him maybe to bring in the right manager, or do you maybe back him a bit more maybe to do the right squad rebuild that we're so desperately in need of?
No, not a chance in hell.
For either?
Not for both. Yeah, I don't think he's going to bring. I think going for Gattuso just sums up everything. I mean, I can't. If he's gone for Gattuso, right, and Daniel Levy is the one who's had to stop it. I mean, it just tells you the story of what's going on behind. Read that out.
Chris, he's banned from Twitter for slating Daniel Levy.
Oh my god, that's jokes. But yeah, no, honestly,
you have no confidence. Like, it just because maybe, like Bob was saying, he might even already quit the job by the time he's supposed to be hired. Or maybe what you're saying, Danny, maybe to get it right, he's going to be so tied, his hands are going to be so tied behind his back, he's going to have so much money shoved down his mouth to be a yes man that he's not really going to do either. Maybe
it's either one or the other, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he is still there, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there's three things that are going to happen. I think either he leaves before the window opens, right? Before the 1st of July. Either before he starts, either that, or he'll leave within the next 2 years. I think there's that, or he'll get fired. It's got to be one of them. I can't see any other thing happening with him because you can already see the cracks already, like, starting to appear just by the managerial merry-go-round and look, we don't have a plan and all this kind of shit. And also, again, Levy has to have his little grubby little hands put in every little decision that is made in this club, and because of that reason, everything's gonna fail. It always will. It always has done. It always will, and it's gonna keep failing because he can't keep himself out of it. He just can't. He just cannot, because to him, it's his little toy that he likes to play with to make money and keep us fans all emotionally fucked up because of how he's running this club. Or should I say? I shouldn't even say club. This property management company. That's what I should say.
LLC. Yeah, absolutely, Danny. And maybe I'll just ask you really quickly. Do you reckon Levy is a double dipper? Considering he likes to put his hands and everything.
He's a fucking quadruple dipper, mate.
But, so, when he likes to
I don't think you understand what that means over here, lad.
Maybe I don't, but absolutely. Maybe I'll transition quickly, maybe, David.
I don't know what this means. What does it mean, Dave? Go on, enlighten us.
Don't put our mind in the bad gutter, David. But
is Levy a double dipper, Dave?
No, I'm not getting into that.
But David, maybe
there's a curtain wiper.
We're moving towards where we're going to have to see whether Paratici is capable of signing the right manager or maybe completing a successful squad rebuild. David, is there any one of those that you maybe think you have a bit more confidence in him doing successfully?
Fuck no.
We'll take the super chat first.
Yeah, I'll take the super chat from Tin Man 007. Apologies, Tin Man. We'll get to your super chat here. He says, we can blame Enoch and Levy, but we should blame ourselves for accepting this for 20 years. Absolutely right. Actions speak louder than words. All need to be at the NFL protest. Tin Man, you're saying it perfectly. You're saying it perfectly. Believe me, I'm one of those. Obviously, I haven't been a fan for 20 years, but I've been asleep. I've absolutely been in hibernation towards Enoch and Levy. You know, I even only started probably even having my suspicions, having my kind of hatred towards them after the final, after we didn't invest in the squad. So to be honest, I'm one of the hibernation. You know, I was one of the ones that got woken up. So absolutely, big yourself up. And everyone, bring yourself to the NFL protest, please, please, please. Ruin Levy's NFL party. You know, he's going to come in with a big Dallas Cowboys jersey. He's probably going to bring in all of his kids, you know, for the free game and everything as well. Please, 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 just ruin his evening.
Look, I just want to say to that as well, I'll beg everybody, please get down to the NFL protest. Look, you know, even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do what Bob and you know, Mr. K, Stelios, Danny, and people like that have done. Get down there for the likes of us who can't get over. You know, the likes of me living in Ireland, the likes of Jack over there in USA, Brooklyn, New York. So look, make sure you do it for us. You know, get down there for us. Represent our voices. You know, for people that can't be there. I can't stress this enough. It's an absolute genius of a protest. I'm delighted because it's hitting them where it hurts. Right in front of his big, bad American sugar daddies. You know what I mean? What more do you want? Hit him right in front of them. That's what we need to do, because then he might actually listen. But at the same time, I do not have it, or I do think he has a trick up his sleeve for that. I really do. I really do. He'd probably like switch days or something like that, you know, or like, you know, or as soon as the protest does happen, you know, he'll be out there doing another video, you know, trying to schmooze a few people. You know, the guy thinks he's Tom Cruise in the videos. Honestly, he thinks he just come on and schmooze people. It's a joke, but look, for me, I'll be honest with you, protesting at the NFL is not enough. Just stop the buses from going in. Don't let the teams in the stadium.
Yeah.
Just don't let them in. That's what I want. You know, honestly, there's no point in standing. Look, get down there and make your voices heard. But I do encourage a select few people to get together and maybe just block the gate. Not violently, just block the gate, stage a sit-down protest just outside the entrance of where the bus comes in. Yeah. It's peaceful. Yeah. It's a sit-down protest. You know, the bus isn't going to run you over. So it's absolutely brilliant in my ideas. That's what I want. But big up Tim Man 007. And Jack, back to your question, lad. Sorry, anyone want to add anything to that quickly?
No,
I think we said it well. And also, Tim Man, you're saying it absolutely perfectly. Completely agree with you. But yeah, David, the question is, like, is there anything that maybe when it comes to a rebuild or when it comes to finding the right manager, is there anything that you think Paratici, of those two, any of those you might reckon you might be better at, or any of those you might reckon you might, you know, be a bit more successful at for the club?
I don't have faith in the Paratici guy, to be honest with you. Look, it worked out at Juventus because they gave him money to spend. Yeah. You know, look, the guy, he did exploit the free market, but again, my problem with this is that with the free market, like, they pay higher signing on fees. When a player becomes free, they can charge whatever wages they want, and they'll get a good signing on fee as part of, like, you know, because there's no transfer fee involved, they'll get a high signing on fee usually, and they can demand it. So the thing is, Tottenham ain't going to do that. So that's not even going to work. I struggle to see how we're going to rebuild. If Fonseca was a Paratici choice, it's not exactly filling me with confidence either.
Interesting.
Gattuso is a Paratici choice. It doesn't fill me with confidence again.
Yeah.
I honestly, I just can't see it working out. I can't. The thing is, this is all back on Levy, and I know people might be sick of me talking about Levy and other people talking about Levy, but I have to be honest, right? It's all on Daniel Levy, because if he was listening to us fans, which he was, because, you know, he was crying about, oh, leave me alone, little shitbag, right? The thing is, you know, he's definitely watching. So the thing is, if he was watching and he was listening, not just, you know, getting a feedback on somebody, actually watching and listening, he would have heard that we wanted it for players only. Someone like Paratici to come in and buy and sell players only. That's it. But Daniel Levy, no, look, I'll go one extreme better just to fuck them off. I'll go and get someone in and blame him for the manager appointment if it doesn't work out. It's genius. All multinational companies across the world do it. Someone's in trouble or in the firing line, they take them out, put them there, still pay them, and just put someone else in their position to be the front face of it. Problem dealt with. They all do it, and that's the problem. He's pulled off another good trick. He's probably spent too much time with Harry Potter trying to convince him to come on. He's learned a bit of magic, you know. But look, honestly, I just don't see it working out. I really don't. I don't have faith in it. Look, I'm willing to sit back and see what happens, but I just don't. I could be proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong. Whether I will be, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Yeah, it's hard to know. And to be honest, I think, it's really hard to even know, like, whether Paratici, it's sometimes, even though we've had our moments where we praised him, we've had our moments where we maybe offered a bit of criticism, but simultaneously, it's also just really hard because, it's just going to be absolutely torturous working under Levy. And so it is really hard to maybe even give him that bit of a job review. But look, moving on to the next question here. We are just going to be, it's maybe a bit of a straightforward answer. Maybe you can give your reasonings why. And I am going to put a banner down below because I would like to know what the chat would like to, what they think as well. The question really is, what do you think Levy, what is the minimum bid do you anticipate Levy would accept this summer? And I do mean only this summer, if Harry Kane were to leave, if Harry Kane were to be sold. Obviously, everybody, some people are saying, Levy's going to hold him hostage. He's going to, chain him to the club. But if Levy were to accept a bid for Harry Kane this summer, what do you imagine that bid would be? What is the lowest it has to be? Danny, what do you think?
Sorry, I just like Shimu's comment there for a second. Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry.
No, I'll go to Bob here. I think Bob probably heard it. Did you hear it, Bob? What is the minimum bid here that you think Levy would accept? Like, what's the one where he would, that's the one where it perks his ears. He actually considers it. What is the bare minimum for Kane to leave?
If it was up to him, it'd be £350 million. That's how much he wants to sell. I think, but yeah, like the guys are saying in the chat, somewhere between the 110, 150 mark.
You think 150 is the max? The max?
I think the talk is that Man City are coming in with a bid saying 100 million. Here you go, take it or leave it. And if it's a take it or leave it for 100 million,
he's not going to do it.
He's mate, take it or leave it. £100 million in your pocket. I actually think he'd actually sit there and actually seriously consider it.
He won't, Bob. He won't. Not for 100 million. Not when you're talking about Jadon Sancho for 75 million.
Yeah.
You're talking about other players. He's the best English player on the planet. He's the best Premier League player right now. No way 100 million. It's not happening. Daniel Levy, he knows what his value is, and he would look. The problem is, right, Kane, if he's forced to stay, right, what will happen is he will go next year, but it'll probably be around that 100 million mark, if not a little bit less. The value that Daniel Levy sees having Kane in for one more season that could potentially get a better position in the table that can earn more money. Just say, for example, if he had a delusion where he thinks he's going to challenge for top 4, if he was miraculously to get into the top 4, he's made his money back. He's made his money back if he loses that money from this year. If you sell Kane for 100 million, that's the thing. So as a business point of view, it doesn't make sense to sell Harry Kane this season for 100 million. You sell him for the maximum you can get, which is right now what he's probably worth is around 150 million. If Dortmund are saying Haaland's worth that, right, based on how he's doing now, I know Haaland's obviously got longevity and stuff. Harry Kane is definitely worth that. He's definitely worth that. He's the best player on form in the world, one of the best in the world right now. Obviously, barring the Euros, but before that, he's top goal scorer, top Premier League assists in the league. There's no way he'll accept 100. If he does, then it goes to show, Bob, even more what you say all the time is he's a fucking shit businessman.
Before I go to Dave here, and I want quick answers from both of you. Would you guys take, maybe a rumored one? It seems pretty ridiculous, but then again, Laporte has not been used this season very much for Manchester City. Would you take, obviously, right, could not happen. Just personally, would you take, let's say it's 110 million and Laporte? Would you take
million
that?
Percent.
You would take that.
Yeah,
you would take 110 million and Laporte. Bob, to you?
Yeah.
You think you would take 110 million and Laporte?
If Kane's going to go anyway, we fast to say we need to strengthen our
and you get a world-class defender. Anyway.
Yeah.
You get a world-class defender for it. I know it's not going to happen, but to get Laporte in that team with someone like Rodon playing next to him, I would be very happy with that. And then you can go and invest the money, invest a packet of peanuts on some other players as well.
We got a super chat in here, £2 super chat in here from a noise air or
Anwar.
I'll take this. It's my language, man. It's my language. I'll take this. It's a niche era. Beautiful pronunciation, I know. A niche era.
Big up, David. He's already polishing off the language skills. Anish era. He says, I'll never forgive Ryan Mason if he sells Kane. Look, I think Ryan Mason has made it very clear that, he's trying to convince his buddy old pal Kane but it's not really his job. And maybe even that's part of the reason why he was brought in, supposedly, by Levy, was maybe to convince his buddy Kane. But, this is the one thing I would say I give no blame to Ryan Mason for, Anish, but I do love that as well. I mean, guys, do you have any, would you blame Ryan Mason at all if Kane left this summer? Is there any blame to be given to Ryan? He's supposed to come in and woo back his friend Harry back into the club.
I'll blame Ryan Mason's dad for not pulling out. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Mason.
Look, to that, Anish, look, for me, look, Levy got, at the end of the day, Levy's the one that signs off on it, so he'll ultimately have to take the responsibility, my man. But appreciate the super chat and big yourself up. And then we have Rob, Jack.
No, I'll take this one. This is my language, so I'll take this one. It's Rob Wallachens.
Rabwala Chens, I think. Rabwala Chens or Wabwala Sens. Rabwala, give yourself a very, 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 very generous donation here. 20 New Zealand dollars here. Very, very, very generous from the land of Shamu. Hopefully Shamu. I know he's a big legend over there. I know he's very famous in those streets. But yeah, big yourself up. Both you and Shamu are absolute brilliant ambassadors of New Zealand for the Spurs Army and for the Harris Army as well. So big yourself up, Rabwala. He says, donation to the show, David. Love your work, Harris Army.
Look, I don't understand why so many people tune in and why so many people subscribe to the channel. Honestly, I'm just a loudmouth. I sit here, spout out my opinions. That's what I wanted to start my channel for. It's took off. People seem to enjoy it. And I appreciate the donation, my man. I really do appreciate it. Big yourself up. You're too kind. But look, if there's anyone else out there that wants to donate to the channel or anyone that wants to put in, your thoughts, comments, questions for the panel, get them in, guys. We're friendly people. And it's a great way to
tune in. They all tune in, Dave, because you're a little cheeky little face. That's why they tune in, mate.
But honestly, big up, man. I really do appreciate it. That's so generous of yourself. I really do appreciate it, my man. What an absolute legend.
Big yourself up, Rob.
I'd love to watch David, but I have a few toilets to clean.
Big yourself up, Rob.
We know what he's on about.
David, question is here. Levy, what would be his minimum price to sell Kane? Your thoughts?
Look, selling Harry Kane, I don't want to do it, first of all. Like I keep saying, we didn't build a stadium and training complex to sell our star assets. We built them to be able to keep these boys and build in and around them. Look, for me, if he was to be sold, 150 million, 175 million, I'd take it. But it's not going to rebuild the squad. I can't stress this enough. It's not rebuilding the squad. Daniel's going to take a percentage to put into Levy land. Okay? We still have to buy 2 strikers. We have to buy 1 main striker and 1 backup striker. You have to buy a centre attacking midfielder to replace Harry Kane's assists. And then after that, you're left with pains to go and try and get defenders, another centre midfielder. You know what I mean? So this is the problem. Me, I don't want to sell Kane at all. I don't look, everything Levy put out the other day was all reasons why we can't spend the money. I don't give a shit. Find the money. You got us in this situation. Find the money to get out of the situation. What fucks me off even more is the fact, right? Submitting applications for plan and stuff, that's not easy, There's a lot of work that goes into that. Now, if he can get that passed on the first time, why the fuck can't he get a manager in first time round? Isn't the problem? Instead of putting your due diligence into fucking bricks and mortar, put your due diligence into getting a manager for a football club, which is what we are at the end of the day, a football club.
Big up, David.
Get a manager in. I couldn't give a shit about Levy land, a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster. Staying in a hotel. Just staying in Croydon where I grew up. Travel across. It's cheaper. I couldn't give a shit. A fancy hotel near right outside the stadium. Couldn't give a bollocks. Get me fucking football players on the pitch and a manager. Couldn't give a shit. Like, this is what winds me up. He puts all his focus into the wrong teams. If you can get planning application, get me a manager. The reason why we haven't got managers is because he's put all resources and all staff into that. It's a joke.
David, I think he spent more time signing scaffolding permits for Levy land than he has been signing managers. Absolutely, David. I completely agree. Moving on to the next question, because we are moving into a bit of the injury time here, because, we have some questions for the extra time. So right now we're 4 minutes into injury time. hopefully David here, will get us a winner. I believe it's 1-0. It's 1-0 to the Scummer. So David's going to have to get an equalizer here on this last question.
Same like my goal at Astro Friday, lad. I'm telling you, I'm getting equalizer plus a winner.
Plus the winner. We still have time and injury time to get this back for the lads. And the question is here, in the contract negotiations, I'm going to go to Bondman first, to our center mid. Do you have any greater confidence that Sonaldo will sign a new contract with Spurs? Obviously, this has been the rumor forever. This has been on the news forever. Do you have any greater confidence in this? Maybe that it might actually happen now.
You know what? My honest opinion on this situation is that I think he will sign the contract. But I also think Daniel Levy is giving him the biggest load of fucking bullshit you've ever heard to get him to sign a contract. Because I think if they're going to sign him, they can't, like, realistically, right, they're not going to sell Harry Kane and Son in the same window. That is just, you're asking for trouble, like actual physical trouble, if that stupid people would do. Obviously, I don't condone that shit, but I'm just saying there are a lot of stupid people that would do shit like that, silly shit, if they sell the two biggest stars in this team. You can't do it. So if one of them's going to go, it's going to be Kane this season. And I think, like you saw, like I think Matt Hayes mentioned it as well in some tweets a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, or something like that, where he was showing how they were advertising Son a lot more as the poster boy for Tottenham and in the kit stuff and all this thing. When usually it's Harry Kane. I mean, Harry Kane is Mr. Tottenham, so maybe it's that they're going to now make him the sort of icon of Spurs, the star of Spurs, because Kane's probably going to go and they know it, but they're just not. They haven't actually got a deal for it yet. So that's what I think will probably happen. And I think that he will sign a new contract. But again, based on the lies and the deceit that Levy is giving him, say, we're going to improve the squad and all this and that bollocks, but he's going to end up being here with no trophies for the next 3 or 4 years if he stays. Also, I also think it's probably another thing for Daniel Levy to lie to him so that he can use it for a sell-on fee if Son decides that he wants to leave. He's then got leverage because he's got a new contract. That's my thought on it. But I think it. Yeah, I mean, look, I think also I do question Son and his dad and things like that if he signs a new contract, because if they're smart people, you can't be that thick to see what is going on at the club right now. I mean, if you cannot see what is going on at this club, the only thing that I can think of that's going to get him to sign a new contract is the lies and the money on the table. That is it. Because there's no way Tottenham can sell trophies or ambition when you can't even give fucking Fonseca a fucking £1 million extra for tax reasons on his contract. It's not happening. I can't see I can only see Son coming for money or lies from Levy. That's the only way I can see him signing a contract, even though I think he will.
Yeah, interesting. I actually really like that answer, Danny. Going to you, Bob. I mean, given that this has been, the story of the whole season that's never gone to an end, maybe at this point, at this moment right now, Bob, in this moment in time, do you have any more confidence maybe that he actually might sign it?
Yeah, I think, first of all, what David was saying, Kane going or staying is in our hands. I don't want to hold him to ransom, but if we don't want to let him go, we won't. Simple as. We don't want to let him go, we won't. Secondly, I'm sure everyone's heard from Matt Haymano's updates earlier about Bale going. He's gone. He's gone on record to say that he's going to be at Madrid next season. So
if you look at the comments, what he said,
I haven't a choice.
The way he said it was like, well, that is the plan because I am a Real Madrid player. I've got a contract with them, and nothing else has been said.
Yeah,
that was the way he said it. It was more like, well, my contract is this, so I am going back there. So because there's nothing else in place, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But
you mean you're on about today's comments, aren't you, man? Yesterday's comment. Yeah. Basically what he said. I like Ancelotti. I'm looking forward to get manager him. It's not like like you said, I haven't got another choice. There is no option but to go. But I believe Levy, with everything going on, it's very unlikely he's going to fork out for him. So he'll go. I think Sonny will stay. I think the only people that have influence on Sonny are his family, i.e. his dad. The Asian fan base want him out. They want him out of the shit show, understandably. You know, he is their icon. He is their David Beckham times 10. And they want him out of Tottenham Hotspur because they want to see him play for a glorious trophy-laden team, and rightly so. It's a nation. It's a nation asking him to leave. So, as much as I want to think he'll stay, and I do think he'll give us one more season, I will not be surprised if, because it's the ideal opportunity for him to sit down and negotiate a contract and sign a contract and give some good news out. But then why should he be where you got a fucking manager in place? So I can see all point. It's a shit show, start to finish. But if I put my heart into it rather than my head, which us Spurs fans do, I want him to stay for one more season. I think he will. And like I say about Kane, it's up to us. Man City could come in with 300 million. If we want to say no, very unlikely 300 million. But if we wanted him to stay, fuck it, he stays.
Can I add something to that quickly?
Yeah.
I was on the phone to Alex before, just a little bit before the show this evening, and it just reminded me. I think another reason why I think Son could potentially stay is there could be some sort of clause in his contract where maybe it's another thing why it's taking so long, because obviously they know what's going on with the club and their vision, etc., who's coming in, the manager, all that shit. It could be a sense where, look, we'll give you an extra 2-year extension on his contract now, or an extra year extension or something like that, but with the case of if certain things are not met, then we will sell you for a certain amount if we get that offer. That could be something in the contract.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Interesting.
And Levy likes a clause, doesn't he?
He loves a clause. Look what he did with Gareth Bale when he sold him. We were the first option to bring him back. We had all these clauses. Look at even Marcus Edwards just now. Tottenham helped facilitate the 50% sell-on, which apparently is just about to be activated for selling Edwards to Sporting from the club he's at now.
Sporting.
Yeah.
So
mate, he's a player. A total different subject. Marcus, he's got potential to be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but it's his mentality.
He gets his head right. He gets his head right. He's
Dele Alli, innit? It's Dele Alli all over again.
He gets his head right, mate.
He's got the talent. He ain't got the mentality.
He's got.
David, Danny, he's just equalized in injury time. You know, we're in the last question of regular time here, David. You know, it's 1-1. You're standing over the free kick right outside the 18. I'm handing you the question here. Do you have any more greater confidence that Sonaldo will extend his contract at this moment in time?
Yeah, I have two very good reasons why he'll extend his contract. One is Daniel Levy ain't letting him go. Look at the money he brings to the club from the Asian fan base. Look at the amount of money they spend on match day. He's definitely tying Son down to a new contract. This is actually a contract that he'd probably give Son more or less a little bit more than what he'd probably give others because of the money he generates on match days and from the Korean and Asian fan base. So I think on that aspect, you could probably guarantee that he's going to sign a new contract. But also, he loves Tottenham. You seen in the documentary, he moved a lot closer to the training ground. You know, so for me, he's only after getting a new house and everything else. I can't see him leaving anytime soon. I do think he'll stay.
Yeah,
very good answer, David. Very good answer. David has just pushed us into extra time, I believe, with that answer. And the first question here is, I think, a pretty good one. And it's going to be a bit comical. If you're forced to keep GPS Sanchez or Moon Boots for another 2 seasons, whom do you choose to keep for those 2 seasons? David, I'm going to actually go right back to you first because I know I can already see him rolling his eyes. David,
he has to answer that first.
David, you have to keep GPS or Moon Boots for 2 seasons. Who's it going to be?
Do we really have to keep one, lad? Really?
That's the point, David. It's going to pain you that much.
Honestly,
every minute's going to hurt.
I'll be honest. The reason why I would keep GPS, right, is purely because he doesn't speak in the press. Moon Boots, right, cannot keep himself out of the press, right? You know, he comes out, you know, he's sitting there. He's like, first of all, he's like, I want my ashes scattered over the stadium. I'm kind of sitting there thinking, why? What have you done? You know, like, what have you done that you genuinely think that's a possibility? It's concerning, right? So the alarm bells were ringing in my head. You know, I was like, pay more attention to this guy. He's not all there, right? Then he comes out and says, "Oh, you know, the criticism has been harsh on me. I played well. You know, I had a little dip in form." Yeah, but you stupid idiot. The dip in form came when we were challenging for the league title. You know, up around the top half of the Premier League, fighting with 1 and 2. like, this is the problem. This is what we get onto your back for, is because anytime we're on the cusp of greatness, you're shit. You start playing shit, and this is what we get on your back for. So he still doesn't understand that, you know. And then to say he thinks he's baffled by the criticism, ridiculous. It's warranted, right? He was on about 4 months worth of shit form. It was warranted. You know what I mean? It was getting that bad. We were talking about pulling up something from the under-23s or that, like, you know. And he's sitting there going, "Oh, I wonder why I'm being criticised, idiot." Right? Then when you know, we lost. He came out before the Leeds game. You know what I mean? Said so. I can't even remember what it was, but some outrageously ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was angry at it, right? But then when we lose the Leeds game, when we needed to win to try and keep like a Champions League spot, alive, we lost. Right? He was at fault for all 3 goals, and then he comes out and says, "Yeah, but guys, you know, I promise you, the last 3 games of the season, we're going to give it our all." But it's too late, because what we wanted, top 4 is already gone because of you. But now you're out here telling us, "I promise, guys, I promise you." You know, fuck off. Just fuck off. Stop talking in the press. And this is the problem. The reason why he's shit is because he's talking in the press. He's not on the training ground. It's simple. And when he's supposed to be on the training ground, he's too busy. He's too busy playing fucking cricket, trying to make, you know, the one-day series or something like that, the Ashes or whatever. It's ridiculous. I've had enough of him. He needs to go. And because Sanchez is quiet, he just quietly accepts his shit. He sits there. He doesn't do any pressure and keep him. Dyer makes too much noise for someone that has 0 fucking ability. There's a reason why we give him the name Moon Boots. It's not because he's good. It's not because he can ping a ball from, you know, 40 yards. It's because anytime he kicks a ball, it's found in River Thames, and we have to call out the emergencies to go and collect it. You know, I'm sick of him. Get him out.
Big up, David. Big up, David. Fantastic answer. Fantastic answer for the Flat Cap Army there. Bunman, GPS and Moon Boots.
What he said.
All of the above. All of the above. All the above. I'll move on then to the next question, unless Bob has something serious to say on that. Because clearly he dropped the mic. Bob.
Mine's going to be short and sweet. Everything what David said, but on a serious note, they're both shit. But I've got more. I've got more faith in Sanchez getting better than Dyer getting better.
Interesting.
I believe there's more of a chance of Sanchez getting better because of his attributes than Dyer getting. I think we've seen the best of Dyer, whereas Sanchez, mate, he's still a bit young. He's been there for a long time. I understand that, but I do believe there's probably a bit more to come from Sanchez than what there is from Dyer. So,
absolutely, Bob. I completely agree. Thank you for standing up for yourself there and getting your feet in there. But absolutely,
thank you for letting me.
And I'm gonna come back. Yeah, I'm gonna let you again, Bob. Here, I'm gonna let you back in here. There's no escaping me. And I'm gonna put it up here as a banner for everybody. So you please give me your thoughts below on this question. Bob, was Tottenham not a good fit for Jose, or was Jose not a good fit for Tottenham?
The real time when me and David really started to get to know each other, Mourinho was a bugbear, wasn't it, Dave? We were at each other.
Yeah, you used to piss me off. You'd be in the comments and you used to piss me off, so I'd bring you up. I was like, you know what? Let's get this guy on.
Me and David fell out. Not fell out. No, we never fell out, did we?
No, not fell out. We just disagreed. Your comments used to trigger me, and my comments used to trigger you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and we got.
But here we are wearing the same hat, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's it. With Jose, I always say with regards to Jose, he was never a good fit. For Jose to come to Tottenham, it would have meant Levy promising him money, because that's his remit, that's his job description, that's on his CV. I go to clubs, I spend a lot of money, and I'll become a success. So for us to, first of all, there was a natural collective surprise that Jose came to Tottenham Hotspur. Purely and simply, we thought, fuck, that means we're going to spend money. But are we? And it quite clearly became evident we weren't going to spend the money that he wanted to. You know, he wanted to go the extra few million to get established players. Of course, we spent money, but we never went that extra bit to get Jose's players. So that was never going to be a fit. Alongside that, I don't think he ever helped himself. You know, we comments in the press, but not get a definitive way of playing, not getting an identity. At least do that. Even with shit players, at least have a, I always look at Klopp and Pep before they brought anyone in. Pep first season, remember, was very average, but everyone could see an identity, the way Man City were going to play, and what Man City way was what Pep was trying to put into the team. We never got that with Jose. He failed in that aspect. The fact that he failed to even turn up at big games, all his players, there was a counter argument. Well, the players are shit. They're not doing as Jose listening. Sorry, they're not doing as Jose's asking them to do. Well, then for me, yeah, the players are shit. But then my question would be, why aren't they listening to Jose? Is he lost to that much of a authority within the dressing room? So it was
Isn't it like a teacher? It's like a teacher complaining like that she can or he can't reach his students.
Control,
At the end of the day, it is up to the teacher to be able to do it.
So Tottenham were never the right fit for Jose, and unfortunately, Jose was never the right fit for Tottenham. It was a wrong thing altogether. The biggest thing for me is he indirectly has said, in roundabout way, you know what? I came to Tottenham. I was promised X, and I was lied to. That I believe. Because of again the Levy factor. I believe Levy bullshitted him, like Danny's just said. What he's likely to do with Sonny, he bullshitted him till whatever. He just bullshitted him, like fucking after bullshit, and Jose actually fell for it. Regardless of, he probably thought, as a chairman of one of the biggest clubs in world football, him promising me X, Y, Z must mean something. Okay, I'm going to get excited because Jose is a passionate person. He's a passionate person. He leads by he's an emotional person. He probably got caught up in it and said, yes, right, I'm going to make Tottenham biggest. And he was let down. And again, that didn't work. So it was a complete wrong match up right from the off. Mourinho to Tottenham and Tottenham to Mourinho, but more so Levy and Mourinho were never going to be a big fit. Sorry, a massive fucking spider just come out of nowhere.
No, but Bob, brilliant answer.
Just quickly before we let Danny in, Aaron here says Dyer is very good at some aspects of defending. Yeah, defending his brother in the stand. That's the only bit of defending he done all season.
Even that
that's the only bit of defending. If he could defend on the pitch like he did his brother in the stand, well then actually he wouldn't have to defend his brother in the stand, would he? If he could defend on the pitch. So look, he's not good at defending whatsoever. He's just good at defending his brother because he's in the stand crying. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Absolutely. Bun Man, Sir Bun, Mourinho, was he a worse fit for Spurs, or maybe were Spurs a worse fit for Mourinho?
Both. He was. I think more. He was a worse. Like echoes what Bob said. He was more of a worse fit for Spurs. And I said this on. I can't remember if it was last night or another stream.
But it's also Spurs' fault for not being a good fit for Mourinho.
So it ties into what I was going to say, right? So basically, what I think the problem is that when we started our downfall, really like this rapid downfall, like because we were slowly declining, right? The Champions League run papered over cracks, and obviously,
craps, yeah.
But we were crap, yeah, we were fucking crap,
craps, yeah.
Yeah, so it papered over the cracks, right? And Poch obviously called for the rebuild, etc. They didn't do it. Now, their biggest decision, right, and Daniel Levy's biggest problem was the fact that. Yeah, did you not know that, Dave?
Yes, you did.
He earns $92,000 a week. He earns $92,000 a week.
90k plus. Yeah.
I know.
This is what's wrong with the world. This is what's wrong with the world.
I know. And this is why people fucking fed up with it.
Sissoko's just below him, mate. Sissoko's just below him.
He's on about 80 something. Yeah, he's on. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. That's giving me a headache.
That hurts.
Do you know what? Jack? For me, right? For me, where the problem lies was when they decided to change direction. And when I say direction, I mean the style of what they wanted in a manager and the type of manager they wanted at a club. They went from Pochettino. I know Daniel Levy's chopped and changed styles all the time, right? With the managers they brought in, and it's proven, like of AVB, Harry Redknapp, and the managers etc. before. What they should have done was they should have continued, and like I said, they should have just, if they were going to sack Pochettino in November, they should have hired Mason as interim, let him play for the season, the rest of the season, then gone in for Nagelsmann, who was their top choice last summer. And then it would have been we'd be sitting in a whole different ball game, because they would have kept the same type of trajectory where they were, what they wanted to do anyway, in terms of the type of manager, the type of style. But then of course, Daniel Levy, the fucking dickhead he is, right, with his raging 20-year hard-on for Jose Mourinho, he sees an opportunity, he takes it he grabs his dick in both hands. He's like, fuck yes, I've got Jose Mourinho now, without even looking at everything around him, because he's such a fucking delusional football man, right? Not noticing that he's actually ruined Man United even more. Even though he won them something, he put them in such a shit state that it took them 2 years to get back to competing into the top 4 again. And that's kind of where we are. And the problem is we don't have the money United have. So for me, it was the wrong fit it was both. It was wrong fit for both, to be honest. Jose Mourinho was not the manager we needed at that time. Maybe in the sort of peak Poch years when we had our peak team, then maybe you could have a Jose Mourinho there and who could actually have the players to do what he would want them to do, and actually they're better players. But I think it was wrong time, wrong manager, wrong type of manager, and yeah, I think it was just a disaster from the very beginning. And I said it. I said it from the beginning. I said Jose Mourinho is going to end this tenure at Tottenham with never winning a trophy, and he did. He didn't win a trophy. And
yeah,
I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Just quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Sean Blaney was saying she disagrees with me on Dyer. That's fine, and I get what you're saying. When we were top of the league, Dyer contributed a lot to that. He did. But the problem is with this guy, he's been here for so long, and his consistency has always been his problem.
That's it.
You know, he's moving into the final stages, the last stages of his career. And the problem with the guy is, he's moving into the last stages of his career, never really nailed down the first team spot. And consistency is still a problem. That should not be happening. The older you get, the more consistent you should be getting. And this is the problem. We need to start moving on from the likes of these nearly men and stuff like that. And we need to be ruthless. Just get them out. I'll get it. Some people can have attachment and everything else. We need to start calling a spade a spade. Players aren't good enough. Get rid of them. The problem at Tottenham, and the reason why we are where we are now is because we're holding on to players like this for way too long.
Yeah.
I get what Sean is saying, and I praise them up until you start playing shit. But like the thing is, when you take yourself out of the immediate situation and look at it season on season, same thing happens with this guy. And this is my problem with him.
Do you know what else it is, Alan? Do you know what else it is, Dave? It's not just the consistency. The problem with him is, like you've said it. You just said it yourself when you were ranting about him, and I completely agree with everything you just said. The other thing is that it's his mentality. Like he doesn't have the mentality to keep up that consistency level of a top professional. He might think, and the problem with him is he thinks he's a top professional. He thinks he's a great player when he's actually really not. And that's the fucking problem. He's so delusional in his own belief in his own self that he thinks he's at a level above where he's like levels above where he really is in terms of his ability. And that's what lets him down, because he thinks he's so good. And that's why he keeps making these fucking decisions, because he thinks, I'll be fine. I'm Eric Dyer. I've got a big head. I've got moon boots. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a joke. He's an absolute joke.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Danny. But I'm going to take the super chat from Aglaya Kakaratis, from Ellie Kakaratis here. She said, Jose said truth. Jose said truth. Same manager, different players, and he couldn't polish a turd. And his philosophy and passion was lost on all our thick, lazy players. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, Ellie. I'm absolutely with you there, Ellie. I actually do completely agree. And very generous super chat. Always really good to see you in the chat, Ellie, and always really thank you for all the super chats. You and Shauna are the absolute queens of the Don Irish Hotspurs army. So please big yourselves up. Moving on to David here, get your answer to maybe this question here at the extra time. What was Jose maybe not the right fit for Spurs, or maybe Spurs, at the time, maybe not the right fit for Jose to come in? Yeah. Sorry, everyone that's watching me rub my eyes, just my hay fever's playing me up. Big up again for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Everybody else. Feel free to get your super chats in. We won't be going for too much longer. So look, if you've enjoyed the show, feel free to put in a donation or any questions or any comments or anything like that. And we will still keep trying to get people's comments. So with Jose Mourinho, look, for me, I was a big advocate when he came in. This is what, the thing is, you look at the history. He's won something everywhere he's gone apart from Tottenham. And when you look at that record, you have to look at it and say that failure is on top. The thing is, I can get it. You can say he's a bad fit in terms of, he's a checkbook manager. Why did we bring him in if we're not going to spend the money? But now we have all seen subsequent to that he was promised and they didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, that's on Tottenham. So for me, that's Tottenham's. I don't know how I'm going to say this, but for me, that's Tottenham's fault, not Jose Mourinho's fault. For me, look, if you're a manager and you're promised things and you sit down and you have these negotiations, you're coming in on the belief that they're going to do things your way. Now, I genuinely do believe that what he's seen from the outside compared to where he got here, I think as soon as he got here, he realised, holy shit, this is 10 times worth of what I thought.
100%.
He underestimated how shit we were.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Now, not only that, but how deflated the squad were, how hard it was to re-pick them back up, how much they lost their confidence. Now, the thing is, for me, I personally think, look, I'm not into this let's pat them on the back even though they make a mistake and say better luck next time. I'm okay to do that for once in a while, once they're learning the trade. But these guys have been playing football since they're 5 years of age. They're coached day in, day out, right? The thing is, and they weren't even doing the basics on the football pitch. And for me, look, you can put that down to Jose all you want. The thing is, when we were playing the Jose way, we were up near the top of the league. Now, that started, we lost a couple of games, fans were calling for him. And I think there is an element of, if he was listening to the outside noise, he changed his style.
That's it.
And that's what completely derailed the season. It completely derailed the season because at the end of the day, if the defence is your biggest problem, for me, look, maybe he may have went too defensive, okay? But if defence is your biggest problem, when you don't have the ball, whoever you're weak, you're only as good as your weak link. So you plug that weak link. You make extra protections for that weak link. But we had 3 weak links, 2 centre backs and a right back. So there's only so much you can plug it. Then we were asking the likes of Højbjerg, Sissoko to drop deep and cover the middle and get out wide to help out whoever's playing at right back, stuff like that. Right. Which meant the likes of, the wingers were having to come back, double up with the fullbacks and stuff like that. So it all just went a bit skew. It all went wrong. It all went Pete Tong. But for me, I blame Tottenham. Just like I did when they got rid of Pochettino. Should never have happened. Should have backed him. So for me, look, I can understand people saying maybe Jose was a bad fit for Tottenham. But we need a manager that's going to come in and make tough decisions. That's not going to be best friends with the players. That tells some of them the home truths. And for me, I think Tottenham failed him then rather than him failing Tottenham. Like I said, the record speaks for itself. He's won at every other club. He's won a trophy at every other club. Even United. What have they won since he's gone?
Yeah.
I
mean, they did spend 500 million, but I mean, that's another story.
I get that, but Danny, the squad needed it. This is the thing. It still needs more investment. Because
Dave,
the thing is,
my opinion.
The thing is at United, right? When he came in, he was off the back of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and there was someone else in there as well in between, right? And it was a mixture of 3 managers signing 3 teams. He had to try and coerce that into one signing, into one team. And it's a tough enough job. I don't even think he wanted Paul Pogba. But Paul Pogba, right, because he had no say on that. We didn't want Paul Pogba. It's clear as day he didn't want Paul Pogba. And the thing is, look, the thing is, Pep Guardiola spends money at City. Klopp spends money. Any top manager that's managing any top club spends money. So I find it very hard to label the money thing at him when he's only been at top clubs, and that's what every top club that wins trophies does.
No, I agree.
So,
I'm sorry, go on, Bob.
No, I was just going to say, David Spar, mate, with regards to we were top of the league and we had the Jose way. And that, for me, was a massive disappointment because he swayed from it, didn't he? He started listening to the outside voices. And for me, Jose was stronger than that. Jose's stronger than that. For me, would have turned around.
Do you know what got to him? Right, he's a strong manager. He's a strong leader. But people like that, when people start saying stuff about them, that's when you see the crackness in their armour. Because they're self-conscious and stuff like that.
Can I just
and
say
when people start calling him a dinosaur, he's outdated and stuff like that, that affects
we
him.
had an identity, didn't we? We had an identity. And for me, if he carried that on till the end of the season, and we still had a crap season, at least at the end of the season, we could have said, right, this is Jose's. We need a player who's going to fit into an attacking, counter-attacking team. We need this X, Y, Z. The fact that we were going from 3 at the back, 2 at the back, counter-attack, sit deep, on the front foot, that's where he failed for me. And there was a lack of, regardless of players, he should have stuck with an identity and he would have had a bit more clout to back himself up and go to the board and say, look, this is my identity. We need this player to fit in this position because this is the way I play. And he could never do that, mate, because he was 100%.
Always. But here's the thing, right? 100%. I agree with you. He should have stuck that way. He should have stuck to his guns. But we also have to remember a lot of Spurs fans didn't want it, even though we were winning. We're still crying about it, and you can't have your cake and eat it.
That's
That's
true
the
as well,
thing. You
David.
can't have
It's
your cake
true,
and eat it.
but
Danny,
also,
yeah,
right?
Danny,
Can I just say, right? The thing is, as well, you got to remember from that time when he was playing that football, he started playing badly, playing that football. So that's why he also started changing it, because we weren't winning anymore. When you're winning, it's fine. You can we'll accept it. A lot of us fans would still accept it, because you can't complain if you're getting 3 points, right? But when you start losing the players, the belief in the players, in the system you're playing, you can't play the same way. And that's what happened. You had the Sissokos, he was playing a 6, basically, a 6 in the front 4, 6 in the front 3, whatever it was, right? And when you had a Højbjerg and Sissoko coming back and basically like covering the whole ground, when Sissoko stopped doing that, Højbjerg couldn't do it himself. So it was opening up the team more, because Sissoko's being a lazy piece of shit, right? So he couldn't play that way anymore, because the personnel didn't want to play that way anymore. Ndombele, when he started playing that way, that's the problem. You saw him at the beginning of the season in that run.
And
he was doing all the
Danny,
defensive
that's on
work.
Tottenham. That's
Yeah,
on Tottenham, because they allowed that culture to set in under Pochettino.
Yeah, but
They allowed
that's
them
on,
to get rid of
they did.
Pochettino for
And
that
do you know
reason.
what, David? That's on Tottenham as well, right? Because they didn't back Jose Mourinho when bringing in Jose Mourinho. You didn't back him the way he wanted to be backed. He wanted Bruno, he wanted Diaz, and he wanted Skriniar, and they didn't. When they gave him fucking Rodon, who they didn't even use for the season. I mean, that says it all.
But the thing is, even when you hear the likes of Doherty come out and say, you know, oh well, yeah, we could have played better under Jose, this, that, and the other. That irks me. That irks me, because
pisses me off.
The thing is, right? The players managed to sell the illusion that Jose was the problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Now the thing is, when you don't want to run for the manager, that culture set in under Pochettino. They didn't want to do the training. They didn't want to do the 2 times a day training that he was doing. So ultimately, the down tools, he was gone. Now, it was working under Jose the way he was playing. Ultimately, the down tools got him gone. And we allowed that culture to set in. And that's the problem. When you hear players coming out after saying, oh, well, yeah, we should have done this and we should have done that and we could have played better. That's a massive signal to me. That's a massive. May as well be holding up a fucking smoke flare. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to hear it in the press. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do on the pitch. And like with Jose, you can't expect a workman to do anything without his tools, can you?
No.
You know what I mean? So the thing is,
he did what he could with the players we had.
The culture at Tottenham sacked 2 of the greatest managers ever in the game, Pochettino and Jose Mourinho, and that's the fact of the matter. And only Tottenham Hotspur can allow that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We're going to move on to maybe another extra time question here. This one I think is going to be really interesting, and think about it in this context, right? It's the summer, players are on vacation, they have more time off, they have time to themselves. But this is also, right, some of that time period where some of those true professionals, some of those real athletes, they take their time to maybe bulk up a bit of their muscles, maybe work on the cardio, maybe work on things that they don't do during the regular season. You see Haaland, he's posting pics of his 10-pack, posting pics of his 8-pack. You see other players working, showing them doing training over the summer as well. Think of 3 players in order priority in the Spurs squad that you believe need to improve their fitness dramatically this summer. Their fitness, their strength.
3 players.
3 players. It has to be 3. Have to choose 3.
Oh, mate, I could choose the whole squad, mate. I can't
has to be in that priority. But Danny, that's the point of the Jack questions.
Right.
If it's the point of the kineke answers me, you got to give me the answers I want, Danny. You got to some tough hitting ones. These aren't easy. These aren't easy questions.
Order.
Yeah. Answer me.
But I'm gonna go to the Sir Bobspur. Sir Bobspur, 3 players in order of priority that you need, that you think just need to improve the fitness, improve strength, whatever it may be this summer. 3 players in the Spurs squad.
First of all, we all know Ndombele, for me, can become the best midfielder in the Premier League if he gets his head right and he gets his belly right. He needs to do it. Someone needs to tell him, mate, you've got the potential to become one of the best midfielders in the world. You got more than what Paul Pogba has, and Paul Pogba's been put on a pedestal for that. Big up, Sand. Thanks for the follow, mate. By the way, put on a pedestal. You're better than him. Get your fucking belly sorted and get your head sorted, because that's all it takes. You need to get that. You need to get that sorted. Secondly, I believe Joe Rodon. Not that he's unfit, but I think we're going to be relying on him a lot more this season than what we did last
So maybe
season.
injuries is what you're saying. Yeah, like some type
Exactly.
of like muscle strength.
If I was a manager or whatever, I'd go up to Joe and say, Joe, mate, you're going to be so important for us this season. Get your fitness in shape because we're going to need you. We can't be having you once every 2 months or once every 3 weeks. We're going to be needing you. You're going to be our number one defender alongside whoever else we bring in, if we bring in anyone. So for me, for me, it's going to have to be him. And thirdly, and I've got a soft spot for him, and I know people don't like him or whatever, but Bergwijn. I think if we do go down the route of playing wing backs, which is every chance, if we do get a manager who likes to play three at the back, I believe he's a perfect right wing back for us. I think he'll save us a bit of money, and the way he worked down the right when at the early stage of the last season, when he was helping out Oreo, coming back, there's so much in there. The guy's got stamina. But I believe if we go down the route, I mean, when Conte came in, he already was going to come in. Already in my mind, I had Bergwijn sat in there in the right. You know what he'd done with Ashley Young and Moses. I thought Bergwijn would have been perfect down that right wing back. I believe there's still so much more to come from this young man, and I've got a soft spot for him. Don't know why. Don't know. Maybe it's the I don't know. Maybe it's the surname beginning with B. But I've got a soft spot, and I do think there's so much more to come from him. The amount of shit and abuse that guy got just because he missed 2 fucking chances against Liverpool, which yes, I think changed his season, was so unfair, and it affected him for the rest of the season. But I do believe a bit of confidence, right manager, right position. There's a lot more to come on, and whoever the manager is, I'd say Bergwijn, you've got a big season ahead here. Let's.
I really love those picks,
Bob.
Really
love Rodon, Ndombele, and Bergwijn.
Really interesting, Bob. I also really love those I love those explanations as well. I actually really agree, especially the Joe Rodon one. I did not think of. Danny, 3 players in order.
Yeah, I think Ndombele is obviously Ndomburger, Ndomlazy, and Ndom Fat Boy. Like, just a lot, mate. He needs to stop eating those burgers. He needs to get that McDonald's drive-through out of his house.
Ronald McDombele.
Yeah, that's it. Ronald McDombele. That's a brilliant one. I love that. Ronald McDombele. Yeah, we'll get Mr. Ronald McDombele out of McDonald's. Yeah, he'd be the first one because, like Bob said, I think like even what Gareth Bale was saying, he was saying like a couple of days ago how he's noticed he's the best player in training in Tottenham, and he said he's like Ronaldinho. He said he's unbelievable. He said he's literally unbelievable. And for someone like Bale, who's won 4 Champions Leagues, and for him to come out and say how good this guy is,
he's played next to Ronaldo, who does step overs, along with every
what I'm saying. So like he's comparing him to one of the greats of all time. Well, like in my opinion, anyway, I love Ronaldinho. He's one of my favorite players ever. But
best player I've seen live.
Yeah, he was the most entertaining player. But yeah, if he's saying he's like Ronaldinho, I mean, this can tell you this guy could be like.
No, I was saying Danny, but Bale, he's played alongside Cristiano and Marcelo. Guys who've done step overs, as much as they breathed in their life.
This is a credit to him to say that if this guy can get up to Premier League fitness, right? If he can get up to Premier League fitness, like he could be one of the best, if not the best midfielder in the world. And regardless whether he plays in a double pivot or in a centre attacking midfield role, but yeah, he'd be my first option. My second one, because I don't think we're going to sell him, I think it's got to be Lo Celso, because I think that if he was fully fit with less injuries, like not injury prone anymore, then he could be again a brilliant player. He's got talent, but the problem is he's like a Lamella at the moment. He's more on the injury table than he is on the pitch, and he can't. And the back end of the last season, he couldn't get his match fitness up. You could see it. His touch was awful. His passing was awful, and then he had like little moments in games where you think, oh, that's the Lo Celso we were used to seeing at the back end of last season. But yeah, for me, if he can stay fit,
what was that?
He said, "Are you the only shit show in town?" I don't know what he means by that.
Elaborate, please, James.
Yeah, go on. And then look, I think Bergwijn. I don't think Bergwijn needs fitness. I think he needs confidence. So I think That's a difference. I think he needs the confidence. I think he's got the fitness, but if you're looking at someone else in that team who I think needs to be a lot fitter, I'd probably say it's
Roden.
Yeah, he's a good shout. He's a good shout. I mean, I don't know who. To be honest with you, I don't know who else. I think. Do you know what the other
What do you
player
say,
is?
Doherty? What about Doherty?
I was thinking Doherty. Because he looked so bad last season. I think if he gets up to like a Pochettino fitness level, I think you see a different player in Doherty. I honestly believe it. I think that regardless of what happens with Doherty, right, and we know his ability this season, you just got to remember Luke Shaw with Mourinho, Luke Shaw now. And look at the difference in the fitness. He was so unfit with Mourinho. He was he wasn't confident. Look, I know it's a difference in ability wise, but for a player to be one of the best right wing backs in the league in terms of his stats and how he played,
second best,
second best for 2-3 years before he came to Spurs. He's got to have something in there. And I look, personally, I would want him gone, but it's not going to happen. He's not going anywhere. So we've got to try and make the most of what we can get from this season. And I think he'd probably be the one who you want to get as fit as possible to give him the best chance to have a decent impact in the team.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not sure with Doherty. Sorry, Jack.
No.
I'm still not sure if it's a case of lack of ability. Or was it a case because he was playing right back rather than right wing back, which requires
I think
a bit
it's
more
everything,
stamina.
Bob. I think it's his confidence is the main thing. His fitness is the second thing because he was so unfit last season.
Danny, I can tell you, confidence isn't a problem with him. His hair's on point every week. I'm telling you now, confidence.
But he might. That's what I say. His hair's on point all the time, but he's fucking what he does on the pitch. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So,
but it is a big positional change as well, isn't it? Going from right wing back, season in, season out, to suddenly going to right back, which would have taken. So yeah, fitness wise, you're right. It probably needs to improve. But the only thing, once he's fit, I want to see a bit more in his ability, because there was a point last season where I thought, you know what, his best probably isn't good enough for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
No.
But then you see his performances for Wolves, mate, and he was awesome. Let's be honest, he was brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean, his game at White Hart Lane was brilliant. The new stadium when they beat us,
he destroyed us.
Fucking awesome, and that's what we miss. That's what we want to see in a Spurs shirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Aglaé, yeah, look, we'll give you a fourth. We'll allow you to have a fourth. No worries at all. Only you, though. Look, with Doherty, the thing is with Doherty, I've seen him play for Ireland as well. I genuinely think it's a lack of ability. I'm not messing. I swear to God. With Ireland, it's the same thing with Ireland. It's poor. But look, in terms of three players, look, obviously, Ronald McDombele, for me, look, he's definitely number one. Look, people could say he's fit. He hasn't been given a chance. The reason why he hasn't been given a chance because he isn't fit. He wasn't fit when he arrived here under Pochettino. Jose Mourinho was given the lockdown to try and work with him. Okay, he got him onto the pitch, but he's still not fit. This is the thing. Go back and look at a picture of him with Leon compared to now, and you're telling me McDonald's hasn't got to him. Give me a break, right? Give me a break. Honestly, he's running and he's dragging his ass behind him. It's pathetic to watch. This is a professional footballer who's supposed to set standards. You're paid to be minimum fit, at least. Minimum requirement when you're being paid 200 grand a week is to be fit. That's what I expect. Look, the guy has undoubted ability. His potential is sky high. Yeah. Honestly, if he was fit, he'd be running the show for France this shores, not Paul Pogba.
Easily.
Right?
I was thinking that the other day, David, when I was watching them. I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah. No, and this is the thing. Like, he just needs to look, if he doesn't fancy a late drive-through, just get a salad bowl. That's all we ask. Because the thing is, I'm willing to give the guy one more year. If he's not fit over the course of next season, I'm not sticking with it any longer. Get him out of my club. I don't care. I'm not giving these players 4 or 5 years to feel comfortable around their surroundings and put pink fluffy dice in the change room to keep them happy. Not doing it, right? They come in, they're getting 2 years. If they're not good enough, get them out. Couldn't give a shit, right?
You see Shamu's
stop buying chips. Stop going into the canteen and ordering chips and start ordering salads. It's easy, right? Second player is Japhet Tanganga. The guy has injury problems. For me, I think he's a super defender. I think he's brilliant. I I
Yeah,
think
that's what I was
everything
going.
about
Yeah.
him screams Ledley King for me, even down to his injury
Too late,
problems.
Danny.
Right, and for me, this guy, if we could get him fit up and running, I think he's going to be a huge asset to Spurs. He's a Spurs boy, and I think once he gets on the pitch, gets the game behind him, I think he's going to be the new leader at the back,
Yeah.
at centre back, in my opinion. And for me, you know, once he does get the confidence and get the experience, I think you'll start seeing him bollocking players and everything else. He's Spurs boy, through the ranks.
Dave, do you think
And,
it's too early
you know,
for?
look,
Do you think it's too early for Roden? And if we're going to go for the future, mate, and for fuck it, let's go for it. Roden and Tanganga in the back. Just fuck it. Let's give them a chance. Let's see how they get on. What do you reckon? Tanganga and Roden back in the back four. They can't do it. They can't be any
I'm ready
worse
to
than
go
Sanchez and
to
Dyer.
be honest with you, Bob, what I would do next season is I'd keep Toby, and I'd play
Yeah.
Roden in some games, get him to learn off Toby, and then Tanganga in others to get him to learn off Toby. Get the two of them work together with Toby, and behind the scenes,
I wouldn't do that.
Behind the scenes in training, then you know you get them working as a unit together, and then that can blossom. You can do that. You can afford to do that over the course of next season because you have the conference league, so you can trial run it. You have the League Cup, the FA Cup. You can trial run that partnership, and maybe whoever's the best out of them, put them in beside Toby and get them to learn off him. To me, Tanganga, I think he's exactly what we need. He'll be that leader at the back. Once he gets the game some confidence, you'll see him start pulling players up on their mistake. You'll see him start telling the midfielder, look, get back. This is where I want you. And that's what you need. My third player, reluctantly, is Matt Doherty. Look, the Wolves, it's in the past. Right? It's in the past. But I don't know. I don't know whether it's a fitness issue or just lack of ability. This thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not sure, Dave. It's a bit of both. Like if you look at him right last season, right, he was so unconfident. He was like he didn't believe in himself, right? Tanky and Jerry's, that's the new one. Love that. He didn't believe in himself, right? But I also think he had a massive fitness problem because the whole squad did. And when you put together someone who's not confident in themselves, no own ability, and they're unfit, and you've got a manager who doesn't trust you properly, it doesn't. You don't feel good as a player, like who can give your best ability, give your best. You know what I mean? Like you know, Dave. I mean, you spoke about this. Like when your fitness is at the top of your game, you're a different player. You're a completely different player.
But that's what we're saying. Don't you think we've not seen the best of his ability because he hasn't been fit?
Not at all,
So we're not sure if it is an ability thing, do we? Because he's not been fit. Yeah.
I think you give him one more season because then they're definitely not going to get rid of him. They're not. They're just not. They've got too many other things to sort out. And sorry, Dave. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say one more player, and I'm probably going to be absolutely ridiculed for this, but just hear me out, right? His son. Now, the guy, he's always shattered when he comes off. We were always having to take him off a bit early. You know, look, his dad puts extra training on him and stuff like that. I'm not sure whether that's affecting him coming into games. But genuinely, I do think the guy could be fitter. I do. There's always a lot of tiredness issues with Son. And I know it's harsh because he does perform. But imagine if he had that extra 10% fitness, how brilliant he would be. You know, he'd be able to last 90 minutes. Because honestly, how many times have we seen him tire out of games and being pulled off the last 5-10 minutes or so because he's tired?
Yeah.
Look, it could be a case that he's accumulated a lot of games, but this was going on before Mourinho arrived too. So if we could get Son a little bit fitter, that'd be ideal.
No, absolutely. I think my list would be, when I think about it, I think my list would probably be Indom Fat Ass, Indom Beer Belly, and then I would go to probably, I think I would go Gio, just because I think if they both really improve their fitness and they both really improve their training, that means one of them would be, you know, maybe ideal for next season. One of them could be, you know, our catalyst in the midfield, either in front of Højbjerg or alongside Højbjerg, hopefully in front of Højbjerg. But yeah, if one of them can improve their fitness dramatically, that I think it would just help the team so much. So I would go Indom Beer Belly, Gio Lo Celso, and then third, this is maybe outside shout, and I saw it in the comments. I think I would go Region. I would go Region, and it would be kind of like a Region / Sessignon, but I would go Region just because I think we need someone, and in that left back position, it'd be nice if we had someone maybe like what Højbjerg was for us, someone who could play 38 games and be just unbelievable. Just every game, he just gives his all, almost kind of like how Souček was for West Ham this season, right? In that fullback position, he just showed up every game, no questions asked, clocked in, clocked out, always a 7 out of 10 kind of guy. And I think Reguilón could be that next season. And he's no doubt a much more talented footballer. And so if he's able to improve his fitness, where he's able to bomb up and down the pitch, maybe for 30, 35 games plus without being, losing that edge that he seemed to have lost kind of halfway through the season like he did. If he were able to kind of maintain that form via fitness or strength or whatever it may be, I think that could help him out a lot. So,
yeah.
And possibly there's going to be a change of position for Sonny this season as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there could be. Might move to striker or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it might move to striker as well.
Enough changes. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Sonny's not good as a striker.
There we go. There he goes from Dan Man himself. Let us know what you think. But moving on to the final extra time question. We are moving into it here. Thoughts, everybody? We haven't actually gotten to this yet, and so maybe it's a good one to leave on. Thoughts on the new home kit celebrating 100 years of Spurs. Design, thoughts on the third kit. What are your, obviously can't support the ENIC out, Levy out, but maybe you can at least support the design. Maybe you're a big fan of Nike, whatever it may be. What's your thoughts on the 100-year release kit? I'll go
underwhelmed. Underwhelmed. Why they're bringing that? I have no interest in any of the kits right now until the rest of the club's in order, mate. And I'm sorry, it's probably not the right answer. I couldn't give two shits. I'm not interested by anything to do with merch or anything to do with. So I underwhelmed with whatever they could have bought a gold-plated a kit for £2.99. I still wouldn't have bought it. Just not interested. It's a bit of a shit show. Yeah, no, not interested. Sorry, bud.
I know, Bob, I actually feel the exact same way, but it is interesting to get everybody's thoughts.
Yeah.
Danny, maybe, someone a bit closer, maybe someone who, maybe fancies the kit here and there. Maybe not obviously with the Levy situation, ENIC situation, but I mean, what are your thoughts? Maybe do you have any opinion on maybe the new Nike kind of designs that are coming out, or the Spurs 100-year release, whatever it may be? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's pretty perfect, to be honest with you. I mean, I agree with Bob. I completely agree with Bob. Right? I couldn't give two shits about the kits because the club's in such a dire state and it's not getting any better, and we can't see any reason to believe that it's going to get any better. But if you want my opinion on the kit, it's all right. It's nothing special. From what I've seen, it just looks like a plain white kit. To be honest, the design looks all right, but it's
underwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of sums up Tottenham. To be honest.
yeah, spot on.
It does sums up Tottenham. Mate. It literally sums up Tottenham, right? And then if you're looking at the third kit, I mean, what the fuck is that? I mean, it looks like someone's little. It looks like my little niece has got their paintbrush out and just splashed paint all over the wall.
Bobspur Juniors, yeah.
Yeah, Bobspur Juniors probably. Bob, that's disrespectful, Bob. Your kid could do better than that, man.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, come on.
The purple one, Danny.
Yeah, I think that is the kit because apparently there's images about it showing in FIFA as the third kit. Yep. Like it's been leaked on FIFA that is the third kit.
I think I think it's been verified. Yeah.
I mean, it's like what is it? Purple and white. Purple was it? Purple shorts, right?
Spot, yeah.
And then purple socks with like a navy bit at the top of the sock, and then it's like that shitty little print that's half yellow and purple as the actual top. I mean, it looks pathetic, to be honest with you. I mean, again, that sums up probably even more what Spurs are like. I mean, they look the explosion of shit.
Trying to find it.
Yeah,
I can send you the link.
Go to David then here. David, Nike, right? They give us the new 100-year release kit. They give us the third kit as well. Maybe anywhere you want to take this. Thoughts on the third kit? Thoughts on maybe Nike's new design? What are you thinking? Obviously, you've been very busy recently with all the Spurs new. This was a question from a long while ago. That's why it's been saved for the extra time for the penalties. So, David, what are your thoughts on the kit?
Look, first of all, the third kit, if it is that purple one, a big guy like me should not be wearing it because kids will mistake me for Barney the dinosaur at Levy Land. And, they're coming up behind me. So, look, I don't want the purple kit. Don't like it. I think it's disgusting. I think it's hideous. the home kit, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure whether I hate it or love it. That's it. I don't know whether the simplicity of it is nice or whether I hate it. I'll tell you, the reason, one thing I don't like on it is the massive red AIA.
Yeah.
You know, that's that colour down the road that we all hate and wipe our arse with. And that's the only thing I don't like on it. If they could change that to blue, I probably would like it.
Have you, Dave? Have you seen the concepts when they've changed it to blue? It actually looks pretty sick when they do it to blue.
Yeah.
It looks so much better. That red just fucks the kit up.
It's got a shadow of the white. Yeah, it looks wicked, man.
It looks like, or they did it in black or something like that, and it looks. It makes such a big difference to a piece of shit anyway that's already there.
Yeah, it's just a big red AIA on it that really fucks me off, to be honest with you. They never really thought that one through 100%. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. I genuinely don't know whether I like it or hate it, and that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what else to say on it. That's just my thoughts on it.
Like when I see it sometimes, I'm like, actually, it looks alright. The design, like, because it's like how do you say it? It's got some sort of patterns on the white. It's like faint patterns, and then when you look at it again, it's like what Dave said. It's like, actually, I don't know. It looks a bit shit. But to me, it kind of sums up Spurs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kuba99 maybe almost trying to get his title back, trying to get his belt back, maybe with this comment here. He says, I'd say the third kit looks like a Jackson Pollock, but Levy would try and sign it as a manager. Kuba, you know, I would say first one started off with a bang. This one is also class as well. I would say maybe for two super for the two. I would say we're absolutely though 2 for 2 though today, Kuba. Absolutely 2 for 2. You've been an absolute legend with these.
He's not wrong though. He's not wrong.
No, he's got a bit of a good Spurs funny bone in there though, Kuba. I do appreciate it. And I'll give my thoughts on the kit. To be honest, when it comes to Nike, especially in this case, I really don't get why maybe you pay so much for Nike just to give them a more simple design. You know, that's kind of the part that kind of maybe confuses me. It's like maybe that's what you would pay New Balance or Joma or Reebok or whatever, or Under Armour, you know, you would pay them, right, for the simpler design, you know, the kind of sleek, simple white AIA. That's it. It seems like with Nike, that would be the one where you would want to pay them, right, for the really complex design, like something like the third kit. Even though the third kit looks horrendous, that's something that maybe you would pay Nike for, to go a bit more out there. And so that's my recent thoughts with, and that's the case for even the other clubs as well. Like a lot of Liverpool fans thought their new kit, you know, looked amazing and everything. I didn't really think so. I kind of just thought like, yeah, it looks like a standard, you know, what you kind of think Liverpool looks like in your head. It's not really that, you know, it's not dangerous. It's not really testing the waters or really, you know, breaking any kind of sense of what a kit could look like. It's almost so simple that it's what you would design at home. It's what you design in FIFA or whatever it be. So to be honest, if Nike is the most expensive one to outsource your kits to, then to be honest, I think they dramatically underwhelmed. So that's my thoughts on the third kits. Yeah, got a nice little urine stain across the chest. There's nothing better than that. And like I said, Nike, I think they make nice designs. But to be honest, I think these have been a little too simple. And for how simple they are, they're probably way too expensive.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And big up Kuva99 for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. What a legend.
And we got another super chat in here from yet again Aaron Dub here. Aaron has been an absolute legend tonight. He says, yours, lad. You still didn't tell me how Danny smuggles that bum under the flag.
No, we did. We did answer it.
It's tucked away here. Right at the back.
He's got to lubricate the hair. He's got to get a nice hair gel in. He's got to sneak it in. He's got to pop it out the back. There's actually a hole back there, Aaron, that you're not seeing. There's a hole in the back of the cap.
Yeah. No, look, Aaron, we did answer it, my man. We did answer it. You must have been taking a nap or something. And this one here, look, Paul Markey. There is more going on at Spurs right now. I get it. But look, this is why it's called extra time.
Last question.
The questions that we didn't get to were the questions that we didn't get to when Jack made them previously. And look, you know, the first half of the stream was about all that stuff. There's only so long you can talk about it before you're repeating yourself, my man. But look, big up for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. And look, you know, hopefully the questions meet your expectation next time round, my man. But Jack puts a lot of time and effort into these. He puts forward a lot of wonderful questions, Paul. So look, you know, I think it's harsh myself personally. I really do. But look, each to their own.
You know, it's the last question of the day. I kind of wanted to leave it maybe on a bit of a good note, you know, maybe a bit of a bantery kind of one as well. like I said, it was also one that kind of been like, David knows about my little notebook had been in there way back in the pages, and I had skipped over it because I agree with you, Paul. It was one that was pretty much last on my priority list. And for the show today, I came up with this little idea of the extra time. Kind of a couple of the questions I haven't got to, a couple of the questions, that have always been kind of ignored. And that's kind of the point of the extra time. So hopefully you like it. But people, let us know what you think of that kind of segment of it. Personally, it's a good way for me maybe to kind of divert us, away from what we were really talking about, which is the real issues, the real news at hand that's current. And then the extra time is a bit of kind of reflective period, maybe some funny, some serious, but yeah, a bit more reflective over the whole span of time. But yeah, 100%. I really appreciate it though, everybody. Yeah, Shauna Blaney, really appreciate it. Everyone else, Aaron, I really do appreciate it. The bitteschön, Aaron, bitteschön. So yeah, everyone, I hope it went well. That was the last question of the night. And yeah, everyone, pick yourself up. It was a true pleasure.
I just want to say thank you to Shauna Blaney for the super chat. I really do appreciate it.
Really generous.
And yeah, Jack does put in great work. Honestly, people don't see the work he puts in, the stuff he goes looking at, the research he does and everything else, especially when it comes to the likes of these managers, some of these players and everything else. So big up, Sean. I really do appreciate that. What a legend. What a legend. And I hope to see you on the fan show tomorrow, Shauna. Along with Glea as well, and a lot of other people, all the other new channel members. I want to see us all on the fan show tomorrow. But look, we're going to give everyone a chance to plug themselves, let them know where you can find them. Make sure everyone has smashed a like on the stream. Make sure you do smash a like, subscribe on this channel if you've enjoyed it. And look, feel free to put in a super chat if you've any last quick questions there, or even just a donation if you've enjoyed the stream. And big yourself up to Harris Army, carrying 400 more stream. Now it's gone down to 325, and that's because of the time of night it is. But the Harris Army, you're incredible. I want to say thank you to all you for sticking with us and tuning in, and for the whole show. You're all legends. Big yourselves up and give yourselves a pat on the back. Well, look, we'll start with Bob. Bob, do you want to promote your channel, my man?
Yeah, Bobspur TV did a first stream in a while yesterday, and it was chaos, but it was a laugh. And that's what you tend to get when I do streams. I try and get as many people on, not fussed about agenda, but obviously it's Spurs related. We do have a serious side. Danny's normally on it, but I'll tell you what, we have a fucking laugh, and we laugh at ourselves, and we laugh at Tottenham Hotspur, and we laugh amongst each other, and we take the piss out of each other, and there's banter. But there is a serious undertone to it all, because all we want is the best for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But yeah, I'll put out streams now and then. I'm working now as well, so it's a bit more separated. But if I'm not on my channel, I'm normally slagging myself out to other channels. So I'm always around. But Bobspur TV, I want to get to 1,000 guys before next season starts. And I appreciate any form of support and subscription, because you guys, I love it. I love doing what I do, and sitting down chatting to mates about Spurs. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say to everybody, make sure you do get over there and check Bobspur TV. I'm a huge advocate of the channel. I love his channel. I think he does put out brilliant streams. He brings on these obscure guests that no one would have ever heard of, and then they turn out to be brilliant. He does his research and everything else, Bob does, and honestly, the best graphics in the business as well. Get over there, check out Bobspur TV. Great content. Like I said, he's on the big push for 1K. I've said this many a times. The guy deserves to get there. He's putting a lot of effort and incredible work. And look, the Harris Army, if there's anyone that hasn't subscribed, make sure you get over there and smash the subscribe on Bobspur. He helps this channel out a lot as well. Without the people that are coming on this channel and stuff like that, this channel would be nothing. Bobspur does a lot for this channel.
Yeah.
He does some thumbnails. He's always available whenever I need him. Even if he's not planned to come on and someone pulls out, you can ring Bob. He's going to come on. So make sure everybody get over there and show Bobspur the support he deserves. And that's by order the Irish Hotspur here. So make sure you get over there and check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul Markey here, he says, I'm not being disrespectful, guys. Just worried we'll end up with Southgate manager. Look, Paul, you didn't. Very, very, very generous of you again, Paul. Look, maybe we read it the wrong way. Big yourself up. Yeah, maybe we just read it the wrong way. So I do apologize, Paul. for that, but you didn't have to put another super chat. Very generous of you.
Yeah,
very
legend.
generous of you, Paul. So big yourself up. Yeah, sorry we read it the wrong way. But Dermot Moyles here. Dermot, very generous again. Really, really glad that you were able to stick through the show as well. Big yourself up, Dermot. He says, new Spurs manager, David Harris's new owner, Jack. Bobspur's first team coach, or new Spurs manager is David Harris, the new owner, Jack. Oh, that'd be nice. Bobspur is the first team coach, and the Bun is director of football. Whoa. And the head of director of football, the new dream team. Danny, you're in charge of the new dream team, and Dermot he's just appointed you. How do you feel?
I feel absolutely brilliant.
You're in charge of the rebuild, though, Danny. You got to get to work.
What the fuck to do? I'll be controlling Bobspur. The only person I can't control, Jack, is you, mate. You pay my wages, so what can I say?
And we all know David Harris as a checkbook manager, so
mate,
it will all work out.
I'll be making sure David is shouting at those fucking idiots in the change rooms every single game, motivating them, the shit out of them, making sure if they're not doing their jobs properly, they're getting slapped. That is what I'll get.
Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about that?
Dermot.
That he's put Jack as the owner because he knows he's the most sensible.
I thought I was going to be the director of football. I really like it.
That's one of the best super chats today. I like that.
I really like it, Dermot. I never thought of myself that way. Dermot. And so big yourself up. I really appreciate that.
Just purely because of the amount of effort and time you put into it and thinking who would be sensible ownership. I'm going to give him super chat today.
Yeah, so
big yourself up, Dermot, legend. And Shauna Blaney is subscribed to Bobspur TV. Big yourself up, Shauna.
Big up, Shauna.
And Danny, any place to plug yourself, brother?
I'm allergic to horses, Aaron. I don't back them.
I mean, look, I'm like Bob said, I've become a bit of a slut everywhere. So I'm everywhere. I'm always on Bobspur. I'm on. But you obviously can find me here on the Irish Hotspur. I mean, Dave has taken me in under his wing and showed me how to fly. And I mean, look, yeah. But look, Dave's absolutely brilliant, and everyone, you've just got to smash that like if you haven't done already, because he's just one of the best people I know on this YouTube family, and same for Bob as well, because. He's just a fucking brilliant man, and he's a bit of a pillock as well. But I mean, I love him as well. But look, hopefully I'll have a channel coming out before the start of the season, which will be in the box. The Twitter handle is _TV. It'll be a debate channel which is based on the Premier League teams, and we will have some dedicated Tottenham shows as well. So if you want to watch a lot of delusional, idiotic, pretty damn stupid fans from across the clubs in England, then come over and you'll see David basically attacking some Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans, and it's gonna be fun, put it that way.
Plus you love it,
like
you love it in the box, don't you, mate? You love
exactly.
it in the box,
Exactly.
Yeah, love it in the box.
No, that's like my Friday night out. But Danny, someone actually did put in at the very start of the stream, what's going to come first, Danny's channel or the new Tottenham manager?
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, that's
Your
a good
channel.
question, actually.
Your
Should we put a
channel.
bit on it?
Big up, Jerry. Cheers,
I'll have to
mate.
get a channel out tomorrow then. No,
60 days without it in the box.
Yeah, it's a good question. Good question. I've got an exam I need to do, which is booked for the 14th of July now. So I am doing bits of studying now. So
Priorities.
once that's out the way and I've got that qualification, then I can focus more on the channel.
Pick yourself up.
And Matt, yeah, we are. We're going to end off now. We're going to bed, man. Don't worry about. You can't talk about going to bed. You up to like 6 o'clock this morning.
He was up later than me last night.
He was up
We
fucking...
came to stream, and Bob was sitting there sleeping as well.
Yeah, I
He was snoring. He started snoring on stream.
That's quality. But look, the man of the hour, the star of the show, Jack. Where can people find you, my man?
Listen, David, we can always find me alongside you here at the Irish Hotspur, even for some of the watch-alongs as well for We Are Tottenham TV. If you need anybody to explain any sort of North Macedonian attack or Ukrainian kind of link-up play, I'm your guy to find for that. But yeah, you always find me alongside David here. Looking forward to plenty of content David and I are coming out with, especially when, we're going to figure out who's going to be advancing for the Euros, because David and I are going to be make our predictions for the qualification, or not for the qualification, for the knockout rounds. Really much looking forward to that. So yeah, always find me alongside David. And then you can also find me at Tottenham Away. If you haven't heard that, over at Tottenham Away, that's where Brian Daigle is, Daniel Levy's favorite ex-girlfriend. It's where you get all the best rants, whatever you're looking for that is Daniel Levy related. Daniel Levy specific, that is the place to go. And plenty of other amazing content over there as well with Brian Ireland and such, and Shy and such as well. So please head on over there. You can find me there definitely on Fridays and other times as well. So Tottenham away and Irish Hotspur.
100%. And look, everybody, make sure you do go and give Jack a follow. He's absolutely brilliant at what he does. You get any questions, make sure you put them to him. He's a kind enough guy. He doesn't bite and he'll definitely answer. He's a superstar in the making and he doesn't know it yet. Look, to you, the Harris Army, you absolute nutters. It's 12:30. There's still 284 sitting here watching us talk baloney. Big yourselves up. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody that, has tuned in tonight. The Harris Army, dependable as ever. I love you. You know that. Thank you to everybody that smashed a like on the stream. Thank you to everyone, any new subscribers that I got today. Big yourselves up. A massive thank you to the people that sent in the super chats today. Your support, you really don't know how much it means, and the confidence it gives me that you guys back me, and stuff like that. It really is amazing. You guys, want to thank you so much. Look, with the Irish Hotspur, what do we have coming up, I hear you ask? Well, look, tomorrow will be a fan show followed by a Spurs story. Could be the other way around. Spurs story followed by a fan show. Tuesday, haven't thought that far yet. So look, Harris Army, I just want to say a massive thank you. Another thing, anyone out there struggling with mental health, anyone that's down, anyone that needs anybody to talk to, I've said this time and time again, but the link, from my email, it's below. My Twitter, it's there. Follow me, email me, whatever, message me. Never be alone. I'm always there for everybody, especially the Harris Army. Make sure you get in there. I'll make myself available to everybody. So never be alone. You'll always have someone to talk to in me. So make sure you do that. And look, it's been a good one. It's been an absolute blast. Last people I want to say thank you to is Danny, Bob, and Jack for giving up their time this evening. Not only this evening, guys, but every week to bring this show to you. I really enjoy it, and that's the main thing. And I know you guys do too, because it's up there with frenemies now. It's unbelievable. But look, love the Harris Army. Big yourselves up. No matter all the shit going on around Tottenham, we love Tottenham too. And come on, you fucking Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Kineke
out.
Levy
Get him
out.
out. Get him out. Levy out. Get him out.
Dictator.